Hello, hello, hello. So no one told you life was gonna be that way. Today we're building my favorite Lego set based on a sitcom, which also features Jerry Seinfeld. You guessed it, it is the new LEGO Seinfeld set. Hello all, hello Faith and Misery. Thank you for being here early. As always, you get the award for being here early today. We went to the Lego store this morning. I hope everyone out there is doing well. I hope everyone out there also went to the Lego store this morning. I am still moving around some last minute things. I apologize for how overexposed my face is. What is up? Just Build It. What is up, Greg from London Bridge Bricks? How are you? You admire my channel. I appreciate it. A sunny hot hello from London. I hate to be that dude who's like, you think it's hot there, it's hot here. But I had to do some conversions when you all overseas were talking about how hot it is right now in sunny old England, and because you guys are using Celsius and you're saying it's like 20 something Celsius, and I'm like, how hot is 20 something Celsius? And I'm like, oh, that's like in the 80s. That's pretty warm. That's pretty sizable. But yeah, I'm not gonna be like, it's much hotter in Texas. It's hot everywhere. I grew up in Florida, it was hot there. I moved to Texas, it's hot here. It's no fun for any of us. But cheers to you, Greg. Thanks for hanging out. Also, Nikki, good to see you. I'm so glad you're here because one of the reasons that I wanted to stream now at a much earlier hour is because I'm usually only streaming, at least in the short time that I've been doing some live stream stuff, I'm usually only streaming at like 8 p.m. my time, which is way late in the UK and Europe and overseas. And I know I got a lot of viewers from over there. And so I wanted to do a more inclusive stream for everyone. Not that any of my streams are excluding anybody. And so here we are early in the day. Nikki, I believe you're in Norway, which is a lovely place. We built some Frozen sets on a previous live stream. Not that Frozen takes place in Norway, but it does according to Epcot and their conversion of the old Maelstrom ride into the new Frozen ride. Not that I don't like that ride, I do like Disney World. Thanks guys for being here. Today we're going to build stuff. This is the stuff that we're going to build. I went to the Lego store this morning. The new Seinfeld set came out. I wasn't aware of any other promos that were going on at the time, but apparently there was one promo for a free Friends polybag. This will be like my second ever mini doll. I'm sure someone could tell me the name of this person. But it comes with a bunny. Maybe I have other Friends sets that I bought but not built. I bought a polybag from Raya and the Last Dragon because I wanted one of those weird little molded monkey things. I still never seen that movie, but apparently this set was free. We also bought Seinfeld today. It came out this morning for LEGO VIPs. Its official release is August 1st, but in all senses of the release date, it's out today if you want it today. Also, they have this new Harry Potter, I don't remember what they're called. I call them blister packs because it's basically like an action figure pack. It's a minifigure pack with some little accessories and stuff. I really just like these new printed Harry Potter bits. Some cool little figures and accessories in there. I believe this is a part of the new Harry Potter wave, so I picked that up as well. Other than that, we didn't go crazy. This set is actually surprisingly well priced, in my opinion. 80 bucks for 1,300 pieces. I think it's 80 bucks US. So I would have gotten this set regardless of its price, but I'm happy that the price was reasonable, quote unquote, reasonable being relative and subjective to everyone's preferences and tolerances for spending money on plastic bricks. Brightest Witch Bricks, hello Lauren, good to see you. Welcome in. Here, I got a Harry Potter set for you. That was a very, very funny song that you just put on for Jamay's, in honor of Jamay's stream. If you haven't seen it already, go check out Brightest Witch Bricks' Instagram stories if it's still up there. Very good. I've got my coffee. I've got a Lego set. I'm gonna start building while people trickle in here and start chatting. Ship a Brick, hello, good to see you. This set came out this morning. I literally went to the Lego store when it opened today. It is a Wednesday morning. And so, excuse me. And so there was not much of a line at the LEGO store. There were a few other friendly faces waiting outside the LEGO store, like me, who looked to pick up this set today. But they had plenty of them at my LEGO store. The official release date is August 1st for this set. But you can get it today if you are a LEGO VIP, which is the free rewards program. And I, of course, am. Well, back of the box. Here's the back of the box. I'll tell you guys, oh, you got 2 of the double accessory packs. Yeah, that makes sense. I just started buying it. Maybe these are newer, but anytime I see these in the stores, I want them now. I think they're only available at LEGO stores. I've never seen them at other retailers. But anytime I see them, I very much want them. Also, as usual, y'all feel free to tell me if something looks or sounds off, other than the fact that I cannot get my head to not be overexposed without moving the camera closer. It's not a great webcam. Oop, apologies. I just banged into my my microphone there. Were you commenting on my blade, my small knife? I used to carry other knives around with me back when I did production stuff, but now I'll just have one of these nearby to. It's just convenient to have something sharp in your pocket. You know what I mean? Here's the back of the box. I don't know if y'all are fans of Seinfeld. I was and am an enormous fan of Seinfeld. I love the little references here. I love the minifigures here. I do love architecture. I'm not an architect like a lot of other LEGO folks out there. But I do appreciate architecture, so I love like the top-down view, the tops of the walls being like walled off, for lack of better words. I know the Friends sets did this same thing. I like Friends, not enough to spend much money on those sets. The only other sets I would really equate to this one would be like the Big Bang Theory set, which I guess in retrospect, in hindsight, I kind of would have wished I had gotten, but at the time I wasn't buying quite so much LEGO. I do love and appreciate the fact that this set is not punch tabs, which is a very pleasant change from a lot of recent sets out there. Here are all of the bags. I could mute, but I won't. I'll try to spread them out as best I can. Won't work that well. There's the instructions and the sticker sheet on the bottom. Set that aside. So yeah, the only times that I've really mainly streamed were at like after 8 p.m. my time, because that's when my kids are almost guaranteed to be in bed and asleep, and they are the least likely to interrupt me at that time. So there will probably be interruptions during this stream of children walking in my door, because I don't have a lock on my office door. So if at any time I look suddenly to my right and hit mute on my microphone, that's just because I'm shouting at my children to get back to their rooms. I'm not really shouting. You cannot blame a child. My wife says this all the time, and I second her feelings completely. You cannot blame a child when your office looks like this, and there's Lego on the table, and just shelves full of quote-unquote toys and collectibles. I would call a lot of them collectibles that I have personally collectibled over the years. And so it is, in mine and my wife's words, it is never the child's fault for wanting to be in an office such as mine. That fault lies on me. This build, I'm actually very much looking forward to. Not only because it's a theme that I like very much, and a show I like very much, and it's got a bunch of references that I like very much, but I'm looking forward to it because I haven't done a build like this in quite some time. I've seen a lot of people, I think like Cy has it in his bio, Cy O'Connor, if you're familiar, where somewhere in his bio he says like, I like buildings. And I'm like, I like ships and vehicles, man. I like spaceships, I like cars, I like boats, trains, automobiles, planes, sure, throw those in there too. I like vehicles, and so not that I haven't built buildings before, but like I don't buy a lot of modular sets, and so this is a little different as like a more traditional architectural kind of build going on. Here's what we've got. We've got 9 bags total, a rather considerable sticker sheet, which is to be expected with this set. Now you don't want to focus. I'm looking into getting a different tabletop because I looked back at a previous live stream, and because of this white table, it's nice to build on and decent to like shoot B-roll on, but the camera wants to autofocus every 6 seconds. So I've moved the camera in a little closer to hopefully get it to try to stop doing that, but this is just like a cheap IKEA tabletop. I got an IKEA literally minutes down the road from me, so I may run down there and pick up a different table that'll contrast a little better. Tons of references in these stickers. Porsches, Uncle Leo. This poster was in Jerry's apartment. Jerry, the Fusilli guy. Coffee table book, fridge magnets. We'll look at all those as we start building stuff. Oh, good. My headphones have a low battery. Not that I need headphones to hear myself, other than just to verify that everything looks and sounds okay. So 9 bags here. The 9th bag just being probably like little set lights on the top of the set, which I may just leave those out. I'll obviously have to open this because it looks like Newman is included in that bag. I may leave those out because I kind of like the cleaner. I'll build them on there at first, but I like the cleaner look without it looking like a stage itself. But I appreciate that little touch. Also, if the rustling is loud, sorry. A couple other people popped in there. Travis, hello. Glad you can make it. There's Claire popping in right now. Good timing, Claire. We're about to get started on what I would call an architectural set on account of it's a building. So we're going to build some buildings. I spilled some iced coffee on my table. That's okay. We were just talking about replacing this table. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. Is anybody else getting this set? If you want it, like I said, my LEGO store had a decent stock of them, and because this is a Wednesday release and it's like right before a very large LEGO release, so I feel like there's a lot of people like me that would like this set, but might hold off on getting it, which I've done for mini sets in anticipation of the upcoming August wave. But this is not one I could pass up. The typewriter I've passed up. The Elsa's Castle I've passed up. The shoe I've passed up because, frankly, it's an abomination. That's not true. It's a cool design. I'm not a shoe guy, though, so I'm happy to pass up the shoe. But there have been a few others where I'm like, I could get that set. I would get that set, but I would rather have some new sets coming August 1st. And we'll talk more about those sets, I'm sure, as we build. Here's some instructions. I love when there's some extra bits at the beginning of instructions, as we often get with 18+ sets. We get some bios of our main characters here. Also, I didn't know Bennis was spelled that way. Anybody else? I've seen this tag, like tags for YouTube videos about this set thrown up in there. I'm learning a lot about this set. Here's the dude who is the fan designer of this set, who is arguably a bigger Seinfeld fan than the rest of us. Here's what we're going to build. A floor plan, some walls, some people. Let's do it. Let's chat. Let's go. Lauren thinks the shoe is an abomination. I just don't. It was cool. I think I had several thoughts there. I started all of them at the same time, decided not to go with any of them, and this is the sentence that I chose to say in its place. For that, I apologize. The shoe is interesting. My initial thoughts of the shoe, I looked at it, and I said this in a previous thoughts video, but I was like, if someone had showed me this shoe set years ago and said, this is an official LEGO set, I would have been like, nah, I don't believe you. That's silly looking. It looks kind of ridiculous, you know? But then if they were like, well, there was a partnership between Nike or between Adidas and LEGO, and like, obviously all parties are benefiting from such a partnership, I'd be like, okay, I guess that makes a little more sense. Like, it's built well, it looks fine, but like a shoelace is a ridiculous thing to be included in a LEGO set. So I'm sure plenty of people would appreciate it. I know they did. The other thought that I had in regards to that was that I think the mini shoe promo was going on. I could be remembering something wrong, but it might have been going on during the Bricklink Designer Program launches. And when I pre-ordered, because it wasn't a crowdfunding thing, it was a pre-order thing. When I pre-ordered a couple of those designer program sets. I think the mini shoe was shown there as a promo, but if they don't actually ship until, what is it now, 2022 at this point? If we don't get those new sets till 2022, there's no chance that those promos will still be around, and nothing else in my order is going to ship before those. So I don't think I'll actually end up with a mini shoe. But I was at the LEGO store today. I saw the thing assembled in person. It looks fine. It looks like a shoe. The box is cool. Like, it was a cool opportunity for LEGO to do a little something different with the box that it comes in. But other than that, not much appeal there for me. Jerry Seinfeld is one of my favorite people and characters. He is, tell it how it is, he's kind of a jerk a lot of the times, which can be endearing, can also seem annoying. You can also just chalk it up to the fact, he's a New Yorker, that's what he does. Also, if I do a New York accent, it's not a good one, but that's not going to stop me. Here's Jerry. I love this hairpiece. I saw someone else say, like, oh, I wish he had like an alternative puffy shirt included, which I agree, that would have been really great. But you know, classic blue button-down shirt, classic, well, it's just like a 90s almost mullet, quite kind of hair. I could do that with my hair right now if I styled it that way, since I still have yet to get a haircut since the pandemic, hence I'm still wearing hats. I did get one haircut during the pandemic. I know you all are curious and asked, and that's why you're really here. I got one haircut during the pandemic, but it wasn't a real haircut. It was just my wife gave me some trims in the backyard. So I have not seen a real haircutterist in a very long time. That's what we call them here in America. For those overseas, we call them haircutteries and haircutterists. So if you're here, that's a conventional thing to say and way to refer to people in that profession. I've also realized I don't love the position of the build cam, and so I apologize as things get a little earthquakey, shaky around here. But I think I put that tag in the video description, so everyone that comes here should expect a little earthquakey, shaky when they got here. I think that iced coffee's kicking in, you know what I mean? Oh, Travis likes the sound being left on when I open a bag. My wife said the same thing. She's like, leave it on. People like that. ASMR is big right now, especially on Twitch. It's gotten weird. Like, the meta used to be hot tubs. Now the meta is ASMR. I do not like it, man. Some people say they like the ear tingles or whatever it does for them. If you don't know what ASMR is, you're better off. You're fine as you are, how you are. No need to look further into it. Just leave it at that. Nikki, you said you got the Taj Mahal. That's another one. Looks great. Looks beautiful. But with so much else coming out, like, I don't have a personal attachment to the Taj Mahal. I don't have like any reason why I really want the set. Like, I see it, I appreciate it, but I can skip it without really much remorse, personally. But I appreciate that LEGO is for all kinds, and it takes all kinds. Otherwise, we're just kind of waiting for everything to come out August 1st, right? That's where I'm at. This may be one of the last larger official sets I buy between now and August 1st. Because on that day, there are thousands of new sets releasing, and I'm still trying to come to terms with which sets I will and will not actually try to go down and pick up. I am definitely going to the LEGO store. I don't know how hurt my wallet will be upon leaving the LEGO store. In our previous build, we put together, he's still there, I can grab him real quick. Here, I can try to show it here, but like I said, my camera zoomed in there. Here. Ooh. In our previous build, we had reason to rebuild our 2002 Republic Gunship. This was the first Republic Gunship ever released that included Jedi Bob, a couple of super battle droids, a couple of like phase 1 clone troopers. I think they were a little destroyer droid you can see sitting on top. Unfortunately, my model, this one, he suffered an accident in a recent video making on the channel, and he needed to be rebuilt. And he has been rebuilt. We did that in a previous live stream. So that was a lot of fun, but during that live stream, we talked extensively, or rather tried to, what's one of those steps to recovery or whatever? Bargaining, compromise. We tried to come up with reasons why we should or should not buy the new gunship. I think there were more reasons for than against it, as I've gone back to building there. There were more reasons for the new gunship than against it. I am still, as of the time of making this video, on the fence about whether or not I'm going to pick it up. I would like it. There's no debate about whether or not I would purchase it or would enjoy owning it. The only debate right now, the only question is whether or not I will actually go through with it and buy it, and whether or not that will be a day one purchase, along with a bunch of other new Lego and Marvel and every other Lego theme releasing on August 1st, or if we'll hold off for a little while. But of course, there's the consideration of if we do hold off, do we miss out? Does it go out of stock, and does it stay out of stock for a long period of time? Much like the Mos Eisley Cantina, much like plenty of other very large or popular sets. I think this one will be popular, but I think because of its size, it will stay in stock for a little longer. But then, as people, I think it'll be popular, so I have no idea if LEGO will make a lot of them. It's all kinds of factors that are unknown to us at this time. So, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about getting it. Nikki's also on the fence. You said you don't know if it's worth it just because you already have 7676. 7676 is a different one than I have, right? I don't know that one. There have been 3 total made. There was one in 2002. There were 2 others. They're all relatively the same scale from what I can see. I would gladly own them all, but I only somehow ended up with the original, which was a childhood hood set from my childhood. Strange way to phrase that. I don't know who else's childhood I would own a set from. Here's a little stand-up section. I like this, that this was included. A little bit of extra something. Couldn't make a set about the whole dang club, so just one section of it. There you are, Jerry. This camera's supposed to be good, but we're still kind of testing it, and right now it's not passing all of those tests in this professional's opinion. Wim's getting the Slave 1. I will also get the Slave 1. That will be a definite purchase for me. I always try to say, like, okay, if I can either get all of the new Star Wars sets, I can get, or like which of them can I afford or justify missing out on that I wouldn't like as much. The Slave 1 is not one that I could or would want to miss out on. I will get that one. I think the scale looks great. I think I will talk extensively about the scale of it because that's my favorite part of it. But it's also just a cool ship. I have many Slave 1s already, and so I will gladly add that one to my collection. 7676 is the one from the Clone Wars animated series. Okay. The animated is in the cartoon animated, or is in the CG animated? I watched through that cartoon one recently, at least part of it, until my kid was like, this is too scary for me, because he's 4, he's scared of everything. That cartoon series is wicked cool. Just the animation style is cool. The quick stories are cool. It's very cool. But I only had that one gunship. Travis asks, what about the LEGO pickup truck? Will I be getting that at all? Talking about the, forgot one of these. Talking about the, is it the F-150? There's a Technic F-150 coming out, that orange one. Or the red, I call it the Target Christmas pickup truck because at Target there are a billion little decorations, just rife with hyperbole. Not a billion. There are a large amount of Christmas decorations given. There are a lot of Christmas decorations at Target at Christmas time, and a lot of them feature a red pickup truck with a Christmas tree in the back of it. That's what I was trying to get to with all of that rambling. That being said, like, it looks cool, but I think it's going to be another thing, like, it's going to come out at a bad time for other releases. That one was a newer announcement, so I don't remember if that one comes out August 1st or if that's one of the October releases, because that's kind of the two big release days that we have coming up. Yeah, the Target pickup truck, that, like, it looks cool, and I appreciate it as a large creator vehicle, but, like, I feel like there will be other creator vehicles coming out that I would probably enjoy having more. That's speculating about what may come out in the future, as well as there are probably some creator vehicles out there right now. There are a lot of sets on shelves right now that I would like to have very much in the largest vehicle range. I was just looking at the I think it's a Technic set, the big Technic Ferrari. It's got a bunch of decals on it and stuff. That's on shelves right now at LEGO stores. It's big. It's like $130 to $160. That one looks really great. I never got the Aston Martin DB5, which came out last year. That one looks great. There's that other camper van. There may be a real name for that. The blue camper van that's coming out. That one looks pretty cool. I wouldn't rather have that one. I like the pickup truck. If I was getting a pickup truck, honestly, I feel like I would enjoy the build and the process of the Technic pickup truck a little bit better. But it's all speculation at this point. I could be convinced of many things. I'm very gullible. But in terms of LEGO, I could be convinced to get that or other sets coming out around that time. But it's so hard to just, right now, it's hard to just venture outside of an IP-based set, which I know is not always the most fun for everyone, especially if you're not a fan of a certain IP. And so if I'm just building sets that are based on the MCU or whatever, the new Infinity War sets, then that's not fun for someone that's not a fan of the MCU. But when you grab sets that are more generic, when did they tell me to put a little thing on there? I know I could just do it. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else in that step. It was back there. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, when you get sets that are slightly more generic, like a pickup truck, it has mass-wide appeal. A lot of people can appreciate that as a LEGO set, as just a building model, even if you're not a pickup truck guy, or you're like, you don't have to be a fan of the pickup truck the PCU, the pickup truck cinematic universe, to appreciate a decent looking pickup truck model, you know? And for all of those reasons, I appreciate it, but it doesn't really make me that much more likely to buy it, because I, unfortunately, am a dude, a millennial, in my early to mid 30s, quickly approaching those mid 30s. It's a frightening thing. But being as that is who and what I am a fan of every IP under the sun right now. And LEGO is making every single set that is appealing to me right now. And so I want them all. And unfortunately, getting a bunch of the sets that I do want from those IPs, it uses all the budget up for other sets that I just think would be cool to see. You know what I need? I'm going to come back to this sentence in a second after I read chat for a second. Fate's getting the pickup truck. Ocean, good to see you, Ocean. How are you? Lovely to have you here. You like the look of the pickup truck, but you're looking forward to the VW van. See, I was just saying that. Like, LEGO, honestly, their appeal is so far and wide of a reach and an appeal. Like, they make something that I would argue that anyone could appreciate. Like, look at the catalog of LEGO sets that are either out right now or that are announced to come out soon, and you'll find something that would appeal to you. No matter what you're into, no matter if you like IPs or if you're a fan of vehicles or space travel or Disney or whatever else, like, there's something that LEGO's making these days that would be appealing to you. Or you just like the sitcom from the 90s. Lego's got a set for that, or they made a set for that. Like, Lego's doing some work right now in their like design program and their like ideas program, pun intended that this is an ideas set, but like even the fact that this is an ideas set, someone liked Seinfeld enough to design a set based on Seinfeld, and now we've got that set because enough other people said, hey, I'm also a fan of that same thing. It's a crazy time to be a Lego fan, but it is a difficult time because you want all of the things. At least I do. But I love that so many of us can come together. Not that there are so many people here at this moment right now, but like so many fans can come together and we can all be like, oh, I'm getting this and I'm getting that. And like I can find a dozen other channels and people that I know and follow who are going to buy sets that I may have had no plan to buy. And so I can see other people appreciating things that I can appreciate without having to spend any money. I can hopefully be that source for some of you where you all might like the look of something, but not want to spend $350 on a gunship kind of thing. And then you can vicariously see it, build it, review it, swoosh it around, put it in a closet, eventually move it to a storage unit. You can do all of those things through me without spending a dime of your own money. That's why I'm here. Agent 47, what's up? Good to see you. Also, SB Productions, hello. Welcome in. We are building right now what looks like a hardwood floor. It could have actually been like a vinyl back in the day. In all likelihood, this is just the plywood, the subfloor layer underneath the real floor. I don't know if Jerry's apartment had hardwood floors. He had a nice apartment for New York, though. But we are building the floor of, all that to say that we're building the floor of Jerry's apartment. Jerry, of course, who needs no introduction yet, I will give him one. Anyway, Jerry Seinfeld of the television show Seinfeld and the Netflix show Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. I don't know if he's still making that show. I binged all of those episodes. I love him. It's just like Jerry hanging out with other comedian buddies. And a lot of them are kind of jerks, right? That's kind of... I don't know. For some reason, I don't mind that when Jerry's a jerk. It's still entertaining to me. Putting down a lot of floor bits here. I haven't turned this set around. This is the back. This is the front. So this will be the kitchen? I don't know. No, Travis, you don't got to leave a link to the pickup truck. I've got them around. I've got everything saved, memorized, Googled. I dropped a piece on the floor. How are we doing this little stagger pattern here? How far over are we going? Pretty far? Okay. This is why y'all like buildings? Building buildings? This isn't tedious to you guys? I've placed real floors on a real house. It's not that fun. Granted, this is a little more fun. And it's going a lot quicker than doing this in my own house. We went with a vinyl plank. I'd never done floors before. I mean, I've done tile, but I'd never done like that kind of vinyl floor. We did the entire house. It took only a couple days, actually. They just click right together. I didn't count how far over we gotta go. Am I caught up? Comedians in Cars and Coffee is excellent watching. Lauren agrees. You have excellent taste, not only because you are, in fact, hanging out here, but also because good TV show. I'm looking for I guess I'll just count these. How many longs do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. The third isn't a real one. Ben's Brick Designs. Hey Ben, how are you? Didn't see you at the Lego store this morning, which makes me think, are you getting the new Seinfeld set? I didn't run into anyone at the Lego store this morning that I have run into in the past. Other fellow Austin Lego fans. Actually, Glenn was there, but Glenn is always there anytime something new releases. But there are some regulars and some other familiar LEGO YouTube faces that some of you all out there might recognize. But because we are all in the Austin area, I will run into a lot of the same folks down there. Oh, Ben, you bought it online. Yeah, it apparently was released today if you went to stores, which is good. But yeah, a Wednesday release. Not many folks down there. I have run into Ben from Ben's Brick Designs, who lives close by me. We've run into Emily and Ross from Emmasaurus. They are both also felon Austinites. I don't think they're felon Austinites, but hopefully I didn't just tip anyone off to their location if they were trying to lay low. They're fellow Austinites, as is Michaela from Snot OK, and all of those people were not there today. That's okay. I'm having trouble keeping up with chatting myself with words and also counting floorboards. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And this one is not real. There are a few like guide markers to where I am on this process. And then one of these has 2 little bits in it. Is it you or am I guessing? Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, this one. This has been Josh Counts Stuff, which is another spinoff of Josh Builds Stuff, not to be confused with Josh Updates Stuff, or coming soon, Josh Eats Stuff, because I am going to be hungry at some point. I grabbed some food on the way to the LEGO store, but I will be hungry later. I do not guarantee that we will finish this build today. I did take the day off. I literally took the day off work right now, meaning that's why I'm streaming during the day, because if my boss is like, hey, why is my employee streaming on YouTube right now instead of working? I did formally take the day off, which I almost never do. But I did today. Hence, I'm here early. Hence, other people can show up who might not usually be able to show up. And all of that started with a thought that I have since lost. So, probably wasn't that important anyway. Yes, there were no digital instructions, Ben. Yes, I am struggling because of that. Actually, I didn't even look if there were digital instructions because I just assumed there weren't. But it's a lot easier because I literally have a monitor right in front of me, so I can use that. But live and let live is what I always say when asked about digital instructions when I don't have an opportunity to have digital instructions. You know, we've all been there. I may be off by 1 up in here, but we'll see. We should go 4 into this panel, which looks correct. Something like this. And this. I did take some PTO. My boss isn't here right now, I assume, because he is probably working. But I have I've got a flexible schedule anyway. Obviously, I try not to take advantage of my flexibility, but I've worked from home for 5 years. So even before the pandemic started, I was working from home full time. And so I've always had a good amount of flexibility built into my schedule. I usually don't take advantage of the flexibility to, build Lego during the day, at least not on stream. But like, I'll be able to run down to the Lego store on release days during the week and then just get a later start to the workday, because I can. Not everyone has that privilege and ability. I am highly fortunate to be able to do that kind of thing. Usually I just try to, the only time I take advantage of the work from home flexibility is like I can spend more time with my family. Like yesterday, that was my 4-year-old's birthday. Can you guess how old he was turning that day? Oh, I gave it away. That was my oldest kid turned 4 yesterday. For that reason, I will always remember the date of the moon landing, because it is the same day as my kid's birthday. So he turned 4 yesterday, and so I took some flexible time there to spend some time with him and the family, and we got some breakfast that morning and played with some of his new birthday presents all day. Did a little bit of work during the day, but like, yeah, he flexibility is nice, but I almost never go, hey, I'm actually gonna legitimately take the day off. I mean, if some urgent issue did come up, I'm kind of in charge of a lot of stuff, so I would have to jump off if something catastrophic happened, but everything is usually stable enough that I don't have to worry about that. This step was not very much fun to try to talk and build at the same time. Ashmaster C, Colin, how are you? You were going to guess 5 for some reason. I mean, I could have said my 4-year-old had a birthday, which would mean he turned 5, but no, he went from 3 to 4, which means I officially have a 2 and a 4-year-old. Nice round numbers, because the 2-year-old turned 2 last month. I'm double checking here because there's obviously a lot of floorboard pieces left to come. So I don't want to, if this area is off by whatever, it'll make this a annoying repair job. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope that doesn't happen. What else are you guys going to buy soon? Lego is inundating us, right? I say it like it's their fault, like it's a personal attack. There's so much coming out. And I keep like purposely just delaying looking at what's coming out. Because I know I'm going to sit there and add it all up at some point when I get a chance, and it's going to make me just second guess every decision I've made in my life up to this point. Mostly those leading to me being able to afford some of these sets, and now I can even consider buying this stuff. So I guess some of those decisions along the way were good ones, but this can be an excellent chance to show some restraint, or to just go crazy, you know what I mean? Or just go crazy. Which is fun to enable each other. Like Ben just said, all the things. All the things. I thought about doing some live building around August also, just because I know there will be new sets. But I was like, oh, maybe I'll just take off the whole week of August, like August 1st. I don't know what day that actually is, but like whatever week that is following that, maybe I'll just take off that whole week and just build Lego all week and do some streaming and stuff. But unfortunately, my parents wanted to come to town, who I haven't seen in 2 years, who have never met my 2-year-old child. They decided that they wanted to come to town and see me and their grandchildren. So they'll be here next week, which means I'll be taking some time off next week. I know, how dare they? And in taking some time off, that'll make it more difficult to take some time off the immediate following week. So maybe it'll be some night streams, some chill night builds, that we can put together some of these new sets. Or I may show the ultimate restraint and say, I'm not buying anything August 1st. I'm going to save $1,500 and just go to Disney World instead. Like, it's really hard if you don't sit there and go, what else could I do with this money? Because that'll make you sad. Here's that piece I dropped earlier. Lauren's impatiently waiting in the corner, tapping your foot for the Harry Potter direct-to-consumer, which is to be announced. I don't even know if I knew that was happening. And now I'm slightly upset with you for telling me that's happening, because that sounds exciting. And now I want to look forward to that, and that will make me more likely to buy that series. These two, no. This one, yes. And I haven't even bought the new Chamber of Secrets set from the latest round of Harry Potter stuff, hiding behind the gunship there. We got Hogsmeade, we got the Fluffy Encounter, we got the bathroom one. But there's the big Hogwarts one, the Chamber of Secrets one is the word I was snapping and looking for. That one is on shelves and I see it often, and I want it to complete the larger cool Hogwarts model, to get more golden minifigures, to get that cool basilisk dude. So I want it for many reasons, and yet I can't justify a $130 set right now when there are thousands of dollars of new sets coming out in mere weeks at this point. Lots of things to consider being a Lego fan in this here day and age. Travis, thank you for the promotion. I keep having to approve the comment because it says like and subscribe, and the YouTube chat tries to moderate promotion of other channels, which I will not have promotion of other channels in this channel unless you want to promote me or other people that I already like. People like Ben's Brick Designs, who is here, who makes some excellent mocks, a lot of Star Wars microfighters, a lot of other cool things. Another just generally cool dude who happens to live not too far away from me, which is a crazy story. Like, actually, like I saw his build on Reddit, which is not a local platform. That is a global platform. And I was like, that's a cool micro Razor Crest. I want to build that. And then I built it. And then I was watching a live stream, and I heard him mention me who built it. And I was like, wait a minute. And he commented on my videos, and now I've met him in person, and like now I would go so far as to call us internet YouTube friends, because real life friends are overrated. But like a weird small world when you're like, I'm building this thing that appeals to everyone around the world. Oh, here's a dude who also likes it, who lives like down the street from me. Like a weird small world. I think we've done okay on this first bag because all of our extra pieces are appropriate extra pieces. You got an extra microphone there. I love extra weird pieces like microphones going on. Also, Armand, hello, how are you? Greetings from Canada. I'm not like purposely pointing out where people are from or what they're doing every time people jump in chat, but it helps me remember who everyone is when I say it to myself. And in this case, when I'm talking to myself, there are actually other people listening around. Oh, while we're self-promoting other people, also go check out Brightest Witch Bricks. That's Lauren. She does a lot of cool Harry Potter stuff. She is a great member of the Lego YouTube community and just the Lego community in general. I don't want to confine us to just being YouTube people. And then Plastic Architect is here, who is overwhelmed by everything that's coming out. We all are. I think Ocean, you asked earlier, yeah, does Lego usually have these release dates? Like, this one I think got weird because we're getting sets now that Europe has had for a little while. COVID kind of threw everything off. I still don't assume that we're entirely recovered from COVID supply issues and stuff. And so that may be a lot of the justification behind Lego's release days. Maybe they've been doing it like this like crazy. I've only been like really paying attention to new release dates for new sets for a relatively short period of time because I want to get them when they first come out so that I can make content about them as soon as I can. But like to most people, they wouldn't notice or care. For most people, if you would walk through Target, it wouldn't look like anything new came out at the beginning of even like June, because I haven't seen June sets in Targets yet. But stuff is starting to go on sale at Walmart. This is going to be a fun bag. This is bag 2. More of that. But stuff is starting to go on sale at Walmart. Which is nice. And speaking of discounts, at the Lego store today, they had a table of some discounted Monkey Kid sets. Claire made me think of this because Claire and many other wonderful Lego YouTubers are very into Monkey Kid, and I very much appreciate it as a theme, but I do not partake in it myself. Despite peer pressure to partake, I can't partake. I think the aesthetics look really cool of Monkey Kid stuff, but I skip it mostly because of price. But at my Lego store, all this to say, there were some Monkey Kid sets on discount. I think they were the last wave of Monkey Kid stuff. They look very cool. The most I saw anything discounted though was like 10% off. So it wasn't crazy discounts, but maybe enough for some people to pull the trigger. But I saw plenty of sets on the shelves at the Lego store that are still full price, where you could get them, I know, for 20% off at Walmart right now. Walmart's having the best Lego deals if anyone out there is looking for quote unquote cheap Lego. I think that the cheapest I saw really were like 20% off sets, maybe 40 somewhere. At Target you can get DO for 50% off, at least that's what the sticker says, but I have not seen him in stock, so I think everyone picked up all of the 50% off DO droids. I bought him for full price when he first came out. I actually like that little build and that little droid in hindsight as a character. In context of the movie, couldn't care less for him. But like as a droid, as a design, as like a we need something extra, I'm J.J. Abrams. Sure, Dio's fine, whatever. Not that anyone asked, but usually when you talk about Dio, people say, what do you think about Dio? And then what do you think about the sequel trilogy? So there are my thoughts on those things. We're talking about something else though. Claire's overwhelmed. We aren't recovered from the supply chain, and it's going to take a while. That's not surprising, but it's also annoying because so much does come out so early. Some of the consolation though is if you're like, I want to make a review of a set as soon as it comes out, I want to capture some of those like early release views, which doesn't actually have as big of an impact as one might think. It matters a lot less when LEGO sends new sets out for free to plenty of reviewers and stuff beforehand. And so like if you really wanted a review of the LEGO Seinfeld set, you can go and watch it right now. There's plenty of them out. The funny thing is that the embargo for the date at which reviews were allowed to be released, if the embargo was up the exact same day that the embargo for the gunship stuff was up, so whatever that was last Thursday, when LEGO officially unveiled their Republic Gunship, and David Hall from Solid Brick Studios had his little video on it. Got hundreds of thousands of views or whatever, but it was on LEGO's official channel. That was the quote-unquote official reveal release video of that. A bunch of other channels immediately put up their reviews at the exact same date and time, and so everyone's YouTube and Instagram and every other feed was just covered in gunship content the same day, which is like, hey, if you're trying to beat other content creators to making content about a set, you're not going to do it because LEGO's going to send those sets out for free to plenty of people, or you could do it by just making a thoughts video, which I've got nothing against. I've made and will probably make thoughts videos in the future, but like I like to be able to hold a set and talk about a set that I have personally had experience building. I could talk all day about sets that I've never built or will never build, but that just seems disingenuous. Is that a word? Disingenuous? Seems, I don't know, cheaper. Definitely cheaper to make videos about sets that you've never bought because you didn't have to spend anything on them. Maybe I'll do that. Top 10 sets I have never bought and will never buy. Kodiak, hello, Kodiak. Good to see you. How are you? I feel like I forgot to follow you back on Twitter or Instagram. I will amend that soon. Ben, you're leaving for work? Why didn't you do what I did? Just PTO it, man. Just take off work. Or do what I've done in the past and just like work with quotations. Like, hey, if anything comes up, I'm here at my desk to answer. But I'm not, I'm doing, don't say this live on the internet. You like your job. You want to keep your job. I do like my job. If anyone out there who is in charge of me keeping my job is listening, please let me keep it. I enjoy it very much. I will be glad when this floor is done because I feel like I'm messing up constantly. I'm trying to be very careful about making sure that these end up in the right general, not even right general areas, the exact right spots, because it would be annoying to try to rectify a mistake here or to sweep many pieces onto the floor. I don't know how many fell just now. Maybe just one. Maybe I caught it. Ugh. Shipperbreak asks, have I made up my mind about the gunship? No. I think I will not make up my mind about the gunship until I actually sit down with a spreadsheet and add up a total of all the sets. We'll put them in a couple of different columns. We'll say, yes, we're definitely going to get this set. We'll make a maybe column of like things I would like but could afford to pass up on or pick up later as the like throughout the next couple of months. And then a skippable column and categorize everything and then start adding things up and then do we'll add a checkbox. You can do that in Excel, right? I can do that on the internet. I can do that when building a website. I don't know Excel that well. But I'll add a checkbox and it will have the gunship next to it, and checking the box would include it in the list of sets that we will buy, and unchecking it will unclude it. I was smart in high school, guys. Unchecking the box will remove it from our list of sets to be purchased. And then we will see if the number changes in a way that hurts me at a deep level. Also, my wife will need to be present for those decisions, with a pen in hand ready to sign. Just kidding, that's a dark joke. My wife and I love each other very much. We won't be signing anything. We'll just be deciding together whether or not to spend $350 on another LEGO set. With the rumors of everything else happening right now, I was looking at the AT-AT that's out in stores right now that I don't have because I have previous versions, and if there really is a rumored $800 AT-AT set, guys, that feels ridiculous. Like, I do not need a coffee table sized AT-AT. I don't need a Labrador Retriever sized AT-AT set. I don't need it. I want it, but I don't need it. I spent $800 on a LEGO set once. I did not spend $700 on the Star Destroyer. I do not need an $800 AT-AT set. I would actually rather see more prequel UCS sets, which is a funny thing from me. It's more just that the inclusion of the gunship does kind of open the door for more variety. So it's a good opportunity, in my opinion, to get some stuff that we haven't seen yet. Like, we don't need another UCS X-Wing, even though I'd like one. I don't have the original, the Luke's Red 5 one, but like, there are so many vehicles from the Star Wars universe at this point. Prequels, sequels, everything. Give us something that isn't another AT-AT. As much as I love Empire, probably my favorite of all of the Star Wars movies, I want different things. I think one of the pieces that fell on the floor was one of these. I will just grab one from over there. How'd we do on this step? How'd we do? Nikki, you got to get up in 9 hours? I have no idea what time it is anywhere. I mean, I know what time it is here. It's 2 p.m. But elsewhere in the world, hard to say. I know this is maybe a slightly better time for UK overseas people, but if I stream it like 8 p.m. my time, it's literally the middle of the night. Like, I have regulars who have showed up to those, and they're like, yeah, it's 3 or 4 in the morning here right now. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing with me at 3 in the morning with you? Come on. Though you can't really like crack open some bevs and chill at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. Hence, I got some Starbucks with me with nothing in it. Nothing in it except for 6 pumps of mocha, because I love nothing more than coffee mixed with a bunch of chocolate. You know? Bunch of chocolate. 6 pumps sounds like a lot, but if you get a venti, which is a large, and you say like a venti cold brew with mocha, which is what I get, I think that's like 6 pumps of mocha. It's a big cup, guys. It's not too much. And I quit energy drinks, guys. If I seem down to you right now, if I seem like I'm about to fall asleep to you, I quit energy drinks. I used to drink 1 energy drink per day, which to me is cut back. You know? I'm a developer. I work at a high energy job where I sit at my computer all day and type away little codey things. So that part isn't actually high stress, but I do have kids, which are quite tiring. And I like to stay up later than I should, which is no one's fault but my own. And for all of those reasons, I could justify having one energy drink a day. I would usually crack it open around lunchtime, or have something else with lunch, and then crack open an energy drink around 2 p.m., sip it for the rest of my work day. I also just like them. But as of recently, I have quit energy drinks, which means I spend so much more money on Starbucks. My Starbucks just being a big chocolate coffee, as we just went over, but that's still probably better for me than daily energy drinks. Not cheaper, because I also grab a coffee for the wife, grab a couple cake pops for the boys, because they're going to follow in my own footsteps of just eating junk their whole lives, and hopefully just leaning on their metabolisms to keep them relatively fit. It's worked for me for this long. It's starting to no longer work for me. But I just think that I would like to not have a heart attack by the time I'm 40, and I'm going to be 40 sooner than I expected to be. These later years, they just keep going, man. I expected it to slow down or pause at some point, but yeah, it didn't. So we are too old for energy drinks. That being said, if anyone sees me with an energy drink out and about, runs into me at a grocery store and is like, hey, you said you weren't drinking energy drinks, I'm gonna call your wife. Then I'll say, how did you get her number? And also, what are you doing in my town? Because most of my viewers are spread across the entire world, weird small world. And also, what are you shopping for today? Because I'm trying to be friendly, and just someone came up and approached me with conversation, and I will respond to you with some equal amounts of conversation, because that is how communication works. But if you're like, why are you drinking? You said you were quitting energy drinks. If I'm sipping an energy drink in the produce section, well, I'll say, because I wanted to. You're not the boss of me, unless my boss is in fact here and chilling, in which case it's on the calendar that I'm off today. I'm just saying I might occasionally crack open an energy drink. If I'm feeling tired, if I want to make some content, if the kids have been a lot that day, I may crack one open. But I get the 0-calorie ones, so I'm practically drinking water at that point. Practically water. Abby the Brick Squirrel, hello, how are you? I recognize you and your name from many places. I don't know if I've said hello to you in my own stream before, but welcome in. Good to see you. You are first time in the stream. I said all those things before even reading your first comment, which tells you all you need to know about me as a person and as a streamer. I'm not a streamer, but I am streaming right now, so I guess in some ways I am. But look at that, Abby's on the energy drinks too. This has now become a support group. Boy, I hate the fact that the camera autofocuses every 3 seconds. I could stop it from autofocusing completely, but to do that I would need to open something, and that would break everything for a few minutes. But if it bothers me anytime I glance up at the preview, I may go in and do something about it. Did I skip this page? Yeah, I'm doing this. It doesn't matter. It's all the floor. This part of the build is still not super enjoyable. For those keeping track of which parts of the build are and aren't enjoyable, it's hard to like track, because you'll have like a lone stud out in the middle of the floor, which can be used as guide markers for like, oh, where should this next bit go? But like this part of the build actually feels 18 plus, which is rare for 18 plus sets to always feel 18 plus, but like I wouldn't trust a small person to do this part. I'm talking under 5 feet. No siree, not in my house. By small, I mean young person. That was the clarification that I made there by referring to height instead of age. And if that offended anyone, I apologize, which I will do a lot here. It is a staple of the channel. Also, this is a staple of the channel. That's when I would pull up a stapler as if I had that bit planned. I didn't. I rarely plan anything, except when I do. second guessing a lot of decisions that I'm making, both verbally and in the Lego set itself. And so those two things are right now somewhat in parallel. But again, these floors are, there's something. You would think it'd just be like, yeah, just lay them like in an offset pattern, but there are just so many random little spots where the size changes here and there. Yes, everyone should stop drinking energy drinks unless you don't want to, and then don't. But if you drink them, just get the 0 calories, you know? But also, what kind of energy, what kind do you like? What are you drinking? I went with 0 calorie Monster. I was a Rockstar guy, literally and figuratively, in energy drinks. I was a Rockstar guy back in the day. That Fruit Punch Rockstar, ooh, that hits good. That's a good energy drink. I like the stuff with the really high, what's caffeine levels? MSG? MG, what's in, they don't call it caffeine. Whatever it is, the milligrams of, maybe it is just caffeine. This is the wrong piece and I can't get it up. This is what I was afraid of. Also sharks. But also placing these pieces incorrectly. Also, let's confirm that it's incorrect. Yeah. I'm not even on that step yet. Because it doesn't fit here. So it must be incorrect. We're here. One of those. What's happened? Oh, I put that there. That shouldn't be there. There we go. Nas Girl, okay. Then Mango. Then Rain. I don't think I've ever did Rain. I did Rockstar, and then I would do the 0 calorie Monster, the white can, because you could buy a 12-pack of them, and I'd just like pick up a pack of them at Target or whatever. Just keep them in the fridge. Bang energy drinks. I think they're big with the kids. They like tried to capture that youth market, get them while they're young. Those have like 300 milligrams of caffeine in them. And they don't taste very good. Like some of the drinks I would get would have like 250 milligrams, which is, it's high, but like, it's not ridiculous. 300 is ridiculous. Kids drinking that stuff? No siree, man. No siree. Those kids are going to be doing kickflips in their bed. They're never going to fall asleep. They're going to rely on melatonin to fall asleep every night, just like I do. And so I'm speaking from experience here. I've missed a bit. This part, it's if you were not also trying to chat and converse and follow 7 things at once and make sure a stream is running and stuff, this part wouldn't be so terrible if you could look very closely at it and make sure everything was happening okay. I feel a weird internal pressure. I know no one else is pressuring me to like keep up a pace of the build here, but I feel that internal pressure regardless. So I'm trying to do more things at once. This wouldn't have been awful otherwise, but I think this will lend a very nice foundation to the rest of this build. Foundation literally and figuratively. Looks like we're about to start building up some walls here. Also, Daily Brick, did I say hey to you? Hey man, thanks for popping in. Oh, Clara said maybe switch to green tea. Only one problem with tea, Claire. It tastes gross. It's yucky water. Yucky water. And not enough caffeine. I have a problem that I've been drinking caffeine so much, not only like being a developer, like I'll just drink coffee during the day while working on stuff, that like even drinking energy drinks, I did it more because the ritual and the taste was good, that it wasn't even about the energy. I just like caffeine, but I've never liked tea. It never seems like enough caffeine, and it's yucky. It's just yucky water. I would like to try some English tea or overseas European tea. I don't know if they drink it everywhere, but like tea with cream or honey or something. But any tea I've had here in America, unless it's like heavily flavored or like mixed with lemonade or like spiked with something, I've just never been a tea guy. Looks like his next bag includes the one and only Cosmo Kramer, wearing his classic lobster shirt. which does actually seem classic. Lauren, don't you work in healthcare? I would expect that caffeine, maybe energy drinks, would fit in well in the healthcare industry. But maybe because being in healthcare, it is easier to recognize that maybe this thing isn't great for me, and I'll just have some roasted beans percolated over some water. Which really, like, you get a lot of caffeine just from drinking straight coffee anyway, so no need to jump to something full of guarine, taurine, and other cool-sounding things. But also Red Bull is cool as an F1 competitive team, but I've never liked Red Bulls as energy drinks. As long as we're on the subject that I refuse to get off of. I'm missing some legs here, right? What color legs are we looking for? Gray. That's like this is like a dang puzzle. Find the gray legs in the sea of gray. There they are. There they are. Uh-oh. Abby said the topic is timely because you were watching the raid train till 5 Eastern and woke up at 12, only it was 2. I guess the raid train, I always forget that it does go into Wednesday mornings. I don't make it past Sapience. The raid train, the raid train in Spain stays mainly in the plains. The raid train, for those who don't know, is a group of Twitch streamers who stream LEGO stuff every Tuesday, starting at around midday my time. I cannot say the exact time it will start for you. A wonderfully diverse, inclusive, friendly bunch of content creators who go one after the other. They'll often do stuff together. Like yesterday, I think they were doing a bunch of like races to build the same set as quick as possible. They're raising money right now for cancer. More specifically, the prevention and curing of cancer, not for cancer itself, and not for cancers as a zodiac sign. So they are a great bunch of people. I don't make it past Sapience's stream. Y'all can find me usually in Sapience's stream Tuesday nights. I'll be playing video games, usually lurking, doing something else around my office or computer, but I'll usually be in there. So stop by and say, hey, if you are a fellow raid train lurker like me. That's a really great, fun bunch of folks. Yeah, I guess today it technically ends on Wednesday morning. We are currently constructing the coffee table book. For those unfamiliar with the Seinfeld series, Kramer, in one of his kooky Kramer-esque plans, wanted to make a book that was a coffee table book that was a book about coffee tables, or a book that could fold out into a coffee table. It's been a while since I've seen that one. But the cover of this book shows coffee tables on it. Here. I like this part of the camera, that it can focus on very small things. I don't like the fact that it wants to autofocus 100 times on my white table. We'll try getting a different tabletop. See if that improves things. So here's Kramer. Also, I don't like to try to point out every reference in a new set, but I like when people do. Specifically, Ash and Flash did a nice, concise, cool video about all of the references in this set, and gives episode numbers to Seinfeld episodes and everything. The dude did his research, and I watched through that so that I could remember a lot of these references that I wouldn't even remember. And I like this show a lot. But Kramer wears this shirt often. It's got a bunch of lobsters on it. He especially wears it to a seafood restaurant where he is, in fact, eating lobster. Also, Pretzel from an episode. I think it's a recurring joke throughout the series, where it's like, these pretzels are making me thirsty. And then the coffee table book, of course, from that episode, which featured the coffee table book, which we just talked about. Also, I keep glancing at chat, and I saw someone say, cut out sugar? Cut out sugar? I don't want to call anybody out, Claire. I don't like to call out specific people, Claire, when we're chatting about things, Claire, but... Ooh. Claire, did you hear my coffee order? It's a cold brew. It's 6 pumps of mocha. I don't know about you, but I think there's sugar in mocha. Also, I'm going to mute for a second because I'm going to adjust my microphone very slightly, and it'll make noise otherwise. I looked around my screen to try to see how to unmute my microphone, only to realize it was a button on the microphone itself. We paused building for a second because someone, I don't want to call anyone out, Claire, said that cutting out sugar was an option. I've tried it before. I've done stints of cutting out sugar. It didn't go well. I'm grumpy enough. Full stop, end of sentence. I'm grumpy enough. If I don't have some sugar in me, maybe I'm hypoglycemic. Maybe that's a real thing and not a word that I just made up. I can't remember. But I like sugar. I adjusted the microphone because I was like, I'm going to sit up a little straighter and have a little better posture. I've already reverted back. Here's something I don't like. People who tell me to cut out sugar. No, that's not true. I don't like stickers on Lego doors. I find them difficult. Hypoglycemic is a real word, says the health expert. I feel like my brother might have been diagnosed. Is that the thing where, like, if you don't have enough sugar or food, you get very mad? Like the official term for being hangry? That might be what I'm thinking of. I think my brother had something like that. I don't like Lego doors stickers because they're difficult to apply. But we're going to do it. Here we go. Oh, I forgot we were talking about hypoglycemic, and I was like, why did Colin just say, I think you die? Probably talking about hypoglycemia or something. But glycemic could be referencing sugar, glucose, hypoglycemic, hypoglycose, and Cruella de Vil. Was she in Cruella de Vil? Was she in the original? I don't like this sticker application. I just said I didn't. I don't like it. Do I remove it? It's too late. This is a stressful process. I apologize to everyone that I'm calling out and saying mean things to as a result of my stress that I'm feeling because of a lack of sugar and an excess of applying stickers to Lego doors. I dislike it, and now I've tried to remove it and it didn't come off. I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna take a step back. The problem is the door is a weird width. It's not the same width as the door. And so, like, if I put it close to the front, which is like my usual, like, 16th inch tolerance around the edge, 16th to 32nd inch, 3/32 is my usual tolerance, it ends up looking really offset. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that. Whatever. There. Apologies to anyone who got some secondhand stress. You guys want to know the funniest part about this? That's the wrong sticker. It's the wrong sticker, guys. It's supposed to be that sticker. I was like, which side did the little gold bits go on? Well, they go on the other door. That's what they go on. It's okay, guys. This is why I put out curated, edited content, so you guys don't have to see this part. I don't know why I just put myself. Now I'm in front of Tupac. Was he making faces back there? He deserves this. I saw that, Travis. I meant to answer that. Thank you for posting the question again. I have many opinions about fast food restaurants and would like to speak on those opinions right now. The good news is I'm assuming that this other door sticker will go on another door. The only troubling part would be if it's a door of a different color, much like that horse that I saw that one time. But maybe all the doors are the same gray and it won't matter that much. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to apologize profusely. As we said earlier, it would be a theme, but I think I put I put "I'm sorry" stream in the scream description. I like to give a thorough description of all of my screams. And also, whenever I misspeak, I like to just go with it and then like add on a very elaborate, long, overwinded explanation to why I said one syllable slightly off, and not the fact that I'm all hyped up on chocolate coffee and Lego building. Instead, what is my favorite fast food restaurant? Is an excellent question. Arby's. JK. No one's favorite fast food restaurant is Arby's. Arby's is a guilty pleasure when you don't have any other options, when you're trapped in the desert. But the Arby's marketing team decided to put an Arby's in the desert because they're not very good at their jobs. And you see the Arby's in the desert, and you're like, well, I could have Arby's. I could have that good old classic. Give me that desert roast beef classic Arby's from the desert, or I could just die instead. And most people, I think myself included, would just choose the latter. If I were forced to choose between desert Arby's or death. That was the question, right? Hold on. Save the door for later. I will do that. The horror, yes. Get an X-Acto blade. I use this sometimes. We're okay. We'll be okay. I'm going to make the assumption that other doors in this set will be similar enough colors, or that my front door and other doors... Is this not the front door to the apartment? His front door is at an angle? What's this a door to? Is his front door this way? We'll find out soon. All that and next coming up on this episode of Dragon Ball Z. My actual favorite fast food restaurant, maybe a classic, maybe OG, maybe McDonald's. I'm going to be honest, I stopped and got some McDonald's on the way to the Lego store today because it's easy to eat in the car while you're driving down the highway. I didn't want to be late. There were 3 other people in line at the Lego store in front of me. Even though they had a rolling cart full of new Seinfeld sets. So I was not actually at any risk of missing out on this set. But fast food is and has always been a love and a guilty pleasure of mine throughout my entire life. From the time I could drive myself in a car anywhere, I have a habit of just like, well, I'm going somewhere, I should stop and grab some food, right? I'll stop and grab a burger or something. Remember that metabolism I mentioned earlier? That largely comes into play with this series of lifestyle choices that you are hearing about right now. I love fast food. McDonald's is a classic. A lot of people poop on Burger King. I like Burger King. I've talked about this before, that my Burger King has the classic 90s drink Surge. There's a chance that I drank Surge at one point while watching Seinfeld. Assuming I ever watched Seinfeld when it was live on air. I haven't looked up the airing dates. It just has always been on TV at any point that I've been alive. So I may not have been watching it live, but that's me trying to make a correlation between Surge and Seinfeld, which is Burger King and Seinfeld. I don't hate Burger King. I don't hate many things. My favorite fast food lately, since moving to Austin, we actually have In-N-Out Burger here. And In-N-Out Burger, a lot of people will be like, that's overhyped. It's overhyped if you're like, I'm visiting California. Oh, I can't wait to like stop at an In-N-Out Burger and like have some of that classic burger goodness that I hear so much about so often. Like it's not phenomenal, but it's a heck of a lot better than a lot of other places. And I am lucky enough to live somewhere in very close proximity to an In-N-Out Burger. It's actually right across from the IKEA. So maybe later we'll head down to the IKEA, get a different tabletop. Maybe I'm thinking like a really light wood tabletop because I can just stash them around my office or my garage and pull it out for a build like this. Like this is not a fixed desk. This is just a tabletop sitting on top of my desk. It's usually on the table behind me where I do other video content. In-N-Out's up there, but it's hard because I've only known In-N-Out for a short time. And it's hard to be like, this is my best friend. We've known each other for 3 months. Like it's you can feel that connection. I've been up here. I've been in Austin since 2014, but even so, like, I don't know, Travis, I don't know. Because it's also a matter of taste, right? Like chicken sandwiches got crazy last year. Everything got a little crazy last year. Maybe the craziest was chicken sandwiches. And now like Burger King and McDonald's are trying to catch up and be like, we also have these chicken sandwiches. They're not good. Burger King's equivalent of a chicken sandwich, it's poo-poo, spicy or regular. I've tried them both. McDonald's has changed up their chicken sandwiches too many times. Like their crispy chicken was classic. It was like a classic number 7 when I was a kid. You get a classic chicken sandwich. You go to the movie theater, you hide it in your pocket. When you get in the movie theater, you open up that crispy chicken sandwich. Everyone's like, why does it smell like a crispy chicken sandwich in this movie theater? They don't sell those at this concession stand. That's your childhood chicken sandwich. I think they've changed the crispy chicken. They definitely changed the McChicken. I say definitely. I think they changed the McChicken, which is a shame because they're trying to be Popeyes, right? Everyone's trying to be the Popeyes chicken sandwich, which is good, admittedly, a very good chicken sandwich. Unfortunately, you can't get like the service of Popeyes. They don't care, so they're like, "Here's your chicken sandwich," and they throw it at your face in the drive-thru, and it's like that hurt. But what did I expect? I'm at a Popeyes. It is 9 p.m. at night. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. We all know the situation here. The Popeyes chicken sandwich is very good. McDonald's is trying to imitate and copy that chicken sandwich. They're not good either, but in doing so, I think they're getting rid of the regular old McChicken sandwich, which was at one point on the dollar menu, which now they're like dollar plus menu, which is like, why do you call it the Dollar Tree when there's things on there that aren't just a dollar? McDonald's is doing the same thing, because the double cheeseburger used to also be on the dollar menu. Remember I said I like fast food? The double cheeseburger used to be on the dollar menu, but then they're like, well, you can get a McDouble on the dollar menu. And you're like, what's the difference? And they're like, 1 piece of cheese. And I'm like, okay, well, how much is the double cheeseburger? They're like $1.29. And I'm like, I'm paying 30 cents for a slice of cheese? And they're like, you're at the drive-thru, there's a lot of cars behind you. This is not, I don't have time for this conversation. So you get the McDouble now, because it's 1 piece of cheese. You don't actually notice that big of a difference. This is going somewhere. Probably. This is the intermission of this part of the story, is when I question whether or not it's going anywhere. We'll find out. We're all on this journey together. I'm on this journey as much as you are. Where were we? McDonald's changing the McChicken sandwich. It used to be on the dollar menu. I don't think it anymore is. Now they're trying to be like 2 for $4, 2 for $7. I'm like, just give me a meal, a French fry and a drink and a burger or a chicken sandwich. Stop getting crazy. Also throw in some things from the dollar menu. Also, do you have ice cream right now? No, that's okay. Also, do you have milkshakes? Is that the same ice cream machine? Yes, we have milkshakes, but you don't have McFlurries. No, we don't have McFlurries. Okay, I'll take a milkshake. What kind? Vanilla. Okay. McChicken sandwich is gone. It's not very good. Everyone's trying to imitate the same chicken sandwich. Popeyes is the OG, but remember they threw the sandwich at me last time, so I don't want to go there anymore. All in all, Chick-fil-A is my favorite, hands down. Chick-fil-A, unless it's a Sunday. Can't go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. On a Sunday, we do Raisin Canes. They got chicken fingers. They're from Texas, if you're feeling like chicken fingers. Jemay, how are you? Welcome in. We're talking about fast food. Travis said, what is my favorite fast food? That was about a half an hour ago. Here we are, talking about ice cream machines and the racket that is McDonald's. I'd probably go with In-N-Out if I was getting a burger that I wasn't going to be ashamed of. Yeah, Sunday's always the only day you want Chick-fil-A. Ice cream's always gone. Queen Jemay is here. Also, we were giving shout outs earlier. Queen Jemay is here. Jemay is bricks and mortar. Hashtag Jamily. A fellow LEGO enthusiast. This better not say ×2. No, it doesn't. I don't know what I'm building here. What is this? A bookshelf? That ever happen when you get home from IKEA and you're like 3 hours into an IKEA build and you go, I don't know what I'm building here. A bookshelf? It's happened to all of us. Happened to all of us. Is Chipotle fast food? Is Poke fast food? Poke's probably not fast food, but if I'm getting like a counter service food, not that this question was also asked, I got really into Poke lately because the worst part about sushi, what is it? Go ahead and call it out. The worst part about sushi is the portion sizes. Everyone acts like a piece of sushi is bite-sized. It's not. You know what's bite-sized? Is those mini Oreos that you would get at lunch in elementary school. They're like little Oreos, about this big. There's nothing for context here. Here's a Lego size for sale. Also, gotcha. Is that thing kids still do? I don't know. Oreos, mini Oreos, those are bite-sized. A piece of sushi is not bite-sized. But everyone's acting like sushi is bite-sized, right? You eat the sushi with one bite. It's disrespectful in Japan to take a bite of a sushi. You can't do that. I'm a normal-sized man with a normal-sized mouth. And so I I think sushi is too big. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Sushi's too big. But my favorite new like counter service discovery has been something called poke. If you don't know what poke is, it's like you take the sushi ingredients and just mix them up into a big rice bowl. It's all the same. It's probably not new, but there wasn't anything like that around here a while ago. But now we got something. There's a poke place nearby. I can order online, go pick it up. That's like why I'm big on that counter service food. Can you tell I ate breakfast early today and then didn't eat any lunch? I still don't know what this is. I'm just double checking that I've completed it for the most part. I'm missing a shelf. 3 there, 3 there, some of that there, some of that there. Poke is better portioned sushi. And I love sushi. Just as a flavor. It can't go here. That doesn't make sense. Does it go like this? That doesn't make a lot of sense either. I can't wait to see what this is. I can't wait. There we go. Now let's do more of this. This build is odd. That's not to say it's bad. And I did say that this build is different from a lot of builds that I've done even lately or that I'm used to. I love vehicles and ships and stuff, and so I tend to pretty much put when you're sitting down in the morning and having your little Lego meditation session, as I'm sure you all do, and you're envisioning the future being, I'm going to build Seinfeld's apartment later. What will the process be like? You know, just to prepare yourself for the day ahead. We all do it. It's not weird. When envisioning a set such as this one, I guess I should have envisioned building a building, but I envision a spaceship. It's just what I do. So that Lego Star Wars is just built into me. And so like building little interesting, strange, curvy elements like this, atypical to me. Not unfun, not interesting, not enough double negatives, because that wasn't one. But interesting. I'm assuming this is just like the back wall, more of the lower levels of foundation of these walls. And I imagine pretty much the majority of this Lego set is going to be walls and decor and furniture. The furniture I'm looking forward to. I love building tiny, almost minifigure scale Lego furniture. Like obviously we've got couches and stuff in this set, which a lot of people would argue that a couch is in fact furniture. Other things too, kitchens, countertops, that kind of thing. You guys need more examples of what furniture is, or is that good? We've got 2. That's probably good, right? End tables, coffee tables, computer desks. There's a few more for you. Nobody answered. What was I? Nobody answered. So yeah, the majority of this build is probably going to be walls and foundations and stuff like this, but the parts of this kind of build that I look forward to are the references, which aren't really part of the build, and like the little details, like the decorations, like how do we make it look like there's a bunch of books and VHS tapes on the bookshelves kind of thing. Kids, VHS tapes were pre-DVDs. DVDs were pre-Blu-rays. Blu-rays were just digital downloads and releases. And you don't need to know any of it because it's all obsolete. And by the time you watch this, digital releases will be obsolete too. What will have taken its place? I don't know. Maybe we'll revert. Maybe we'll go back to cave paintings. That'll be fun. We will all have to be forced to get a little artistic. Find new ways to communicate. You know what the ironic thing is? I don't actually know how to correctly use the word ironic. You know what the ironic thing is? Besides that? Sometimes when I build Lego, this kind of conversation happens when no one else is around. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I'll leave that up to you. But Lego is such a great opportunity to let your mind wander. Not as great an opportunity when you're like, hey, there's people here that you can and should acknowledge and talk to and converse with and get their opinions on things too. But it's fun. I love that aspect of LEGO, that you can half pay attention to the instructions, half pay attention to what you're saying, and then see what else comes out. Which is hopefully a constructive exercise for many and not a concerning exercise. These could be radiators. I think this is like one of the back closet rooms in the apartment. There's like there's one or two rooms that aren't shown really well on the box or instructions, and I purposely don't look deeper into things because I don't know if you'd call it a spoiler to know what the back room of LEGO Seinfeld's apartment looks like without having built it yourself, but that's still some detail that I want to discover for myself. And so I didn't look at these, but there's like a place where Jerry's bicycle is kept, and I mean, there's places that you don't see very much in the show, and so I don't think a lot of time was dedicated towards them in the integration of them into the set. I think that's kind of what's going on here. It could be radiators. I, living in the South my entire life, don't understand what a radiator is or what it does. I just know it does something related to heat. If I want heat, I just tap two buttons on my watch and then my AC starts blowing warm air, but they call me privileged. Fancy pantsies. Missing things. A futon, an ottoman, a chaise lounge, a sideboard. Abby, are you local? Because I've never heard the word sideboard used by a person. Maybe we hang out with different people. By local, I mean, are you in America? Because I don't even know what a sideboard is. It's like an end table? Is it a board that's on its side? That may be a little too on the nose. An occasional table? Is that a typo? Is the table sometimes there and sometimes it's not? Is it like, I would call that like a flux table. If it's kind of caught between universes or dimensions. Hey, where's your table? Oh, it's an occasional table. Comes and goes. Yeah, but where are we going to eat dinner? You can sit on the floor, but it's also an occasional floor, so you may want to be careful with that one. Okay. We've done something incorrectly. As I pull our floorboards back over, have we? Because there's a missing spot there. We have, because here it's not a missing spot. Where are we? We're at the longest row. That, one long one. Yeah, we're missing one. This is like when you lay all the new vinyl flooring in your kitchen and all the new vinyl flooring in your living room, and then you look at the spot where between the kitchen and living room, and you realize there's a gap that's this big of a gap, this big of a gap, if you need it demonstrated in several different camera angles, a very tiny gap between the floorboards, and you can't push them together because there's nowhere that you can stand. Apologies if I'm slicing open Lego here. I need a fine point. There's nowhere that you can stand on the floor and push the floorboards together because they just need to nudge together. But there's nowhere that you can stand where you can nudge them together without also being on top of the board. And so the way physics works is if I'm standing on a surface and then I hit that surface sideways, Newton is like, no, if you hit the board that way, you're exerting equal force that way. And so there's no way to push those boards together unless you can get all the way to the edge of one side of the room and push them, but you would literally have to be dangling from the wall in order to do that part. That being so, there's still a tiny gap in my floors. But I'm an amateur, man. No one paid me to do this job. And if anyone had expectations that I could lay floorboards flawlessly, that's on them. What's happening? Was this the same bag? Yeah, these are too short. It's okay. Because we found our mistakes early. We didn't beat ourselves up too much for having made mistakes, at least not while live on stream. Afterwards, though, I'm going to have a talking to with myself. And different than the talking to with myself that we're having right now, it will be much more stern. I'm not talking about the back of a boat. because that's aft. Maybe. Lauren also has conversations with herself. Well, thank you for hanging out here, having conversations with myself. Yeah, we still have not solved the radiator mystery. Hello, Manuel. Good to see you again. Nice to have you here. We are in the process of constructing Seinfeld's apartment. And hopefully, this is not the end of this bag, because I would have leftover pieces otherwise. No, there'll be a couple more here. We'll see. I think I'm missing literally a single one of these. I think. Because this step is telling me to put these on here. Abby's in the U.S., in Florida, raised by parents from Philadelphia and outside Philly and South Jersey. Your dad had a design degree from Drexel, and they bought and sold antiques for a time. Oh, so you know furniture. So when I was saying furniture, you're like, those are amateur furniture names. This man's never even heard of an occasional table. Or an every once in a while armoire. Or a see you later TV stand. I couldn't even think of a third piece of furniture that wasn't a TV stand. I'm suspicious I'm literally missing a single one of these little fellas. So I'm browsing backwards. We'll see if anything jumps out at me. In which case I will probably duck very suddenly, but don't worry, I'll pop right back up afterwards. Just a part of the job. But if anything apparent shows up, then I'll say you're early, because my parents aren't coming into town until next weekend. Okay, so this was the reasoning for some of the weird studs hanging out on the floor, because the walls are going to come in some spots like this and connect via some of those floor studs. Not to be mistaken with wall studs. Okay, I think that'll hold that in place. So 2 points of connection for that wall, there and there. And then we're there. A sideboard is a long, narrow storage space. Its distinguishing features are its short legs and cabinets that may reach all the way to the floor. That sounds like a word that my wife would have said to me at one point. And I would have said, what? And then she would have explained it to me very nicely and elegantly. And I would have said, what? And then she would have said, why do you do this why do we have to do this so often? And I would go, what? I was wearing headphones. Sorry. Can I say something in Spanish? No. That was Spanish for no. Also, piso. Piso mojado. Floor and wet floor. I saw that on a sign one time, right before I fell down. I can't read Spanish very well. I have 2 of these pieces left over from this bag, which makes it suspicious that I missed one, but there's nothing like blaringly obvious on the top or base of this little section here. So I'm not going to be too concerned about it right now, but if anyone sends me a formal letter of complaint, I will take it into account, and we'll fix that a little later. The occasional table is small, and a small table for infrequent or varied use. Makes sense. I think my explanation of it fluxing in and out of our reality was more fun, but yours is probably more correct. But I've never let being incorrect stop me from anything, except when it comes to being politically incorrect, in which case I let that restraint flow through me strongly while doing things like this in a public forum where I cannot edit myself. So it's probably a little more important to be a little more politically correct. That being said, I said I'm going to apologize a lot, and so that is my compensation for my political incorrectitude sometimes. Atrocity. Not a, you know what I mean. Bag 4 out of 9, but 9 doesn't really count as long as we're being specific. Looks like we're going to build up some walls here of that same back left general area. Now's a good time to say hello to Michaela from Snot OK. How are you, Michaela? I still think often of your excellent Thoughtful Bricks session, which correlated addiction and LEGO addiction because of the upcoming August releases and our indecision surrounding them. I got this bicycle with the tires. It's not even at this step. I just want to put the tires on the bicycle. So I'm doing things out of order because I want my bicycle to have tires. Did you know that in other countries they spell tires with a Y? To which I reply, why? I only really know that because I've been watching a lot of Formula One lately, and when they'll talk about tires, the Pirelli line of tires that we're using today are the C1, the C2, and the C3 kind of thing. And they'll spell tires with a Y, T-Y-R-E-S, which is weird that I didn't know that one. Like, I know some of the usual differences in spelling, colors and stuff, a lot of U's up in there. I'm not talking in second person. A lot of that, but tires is spelled with a Y. This has been Spelling Hour. Can't think of a good name. The segment of the show is still working on a name. But being as this is Shout Out Saturday and we have shouted out everyone else, give some subscriptions to the people hanging out here in chat, or just look them up because they're also cool people. Oh, Colin, do you watch Formula One? Because we may talk about Formula One for a second here for those who might or might not enjoy Formula One. Verstappen, or whatever his name is. Yes, Hamilton and Verstappen. There is some controversy in the Formula One world going on right now. You got your tires rotated with the Y. I appreciate that very much. Should I do that? Rotate my tires? Maybe occasionally. For those who may have seen some things in the news about Formula One is a motorsport. And this weekend was a big race at Silverstone. That's the race in the UK. Hundreds of thousands of people live in person. They did not have many live spectators in the delayed 2020 season for obvious reasons. But now that we're all just done with COVID, or at least tired of it, we got spectators again. At least, like, vaccinations are widely available, and get vaccinated. I am a proponent of vaccines. I have had several vaccines. Maybe I went in and got some extra vaccines just to be safe, pop in, hey, can I have another? Sure, I'll take another one. They don't ask that many questions. They're just trying to get people through there. That's not true. Don't get more than 2 vaccines. I don't know if it would have any effect on you. Formula One, there were hundreds of thousands of spectators in Great Britain this weekend for the race. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, incredible driver, maybe the best of all time at this time. I'm sure a lot of people would argue against it. Hamilton's a fantastic driver. The dude does not make mistakes. He is a machine. He is criticized more than any other driver in the sport, I would argue. And not only is he just a national hero and athlete in his own country, he's now Sir Lewis Hamilton. He's Formula One is a worldwide sport, literally worldwide. America likes it. Europe likes it. They like it in every country in the world. That is what worldwide means. So Lewis Hamilton is well known around the world. I'm saying all of this because Lewis got a lot of criticism following the incidents of the race on Sunday. The incidents were that him and Max Verstappen, who is the current championship leader in terms of points, young gun, very good Red Bull driver. I'm a big fan of Max. I love seeing the competition in the championship in general. They came together at a very early turn. I think it was in literally the first lap of the race. Everything happens very quickly on a Formula One track. Literally, like the corner they were going into was a very fast turn. So they were both going very close to 200 miles an hour. And Lewis got alongside. He said he had the racing line. I think he said at one point he was ahead. Obviously, things are happening very quickly for him. We have the luxury of replays and everything. They came together. Lewis was not ahead. I don't think Lewis had the racing line. I think if Lewis had continued on that line, he would have gone really wide. Basically, he was on the inside of a corner. And Verstappen was, this is Lewis, this is Verstappen. And Lewis is coming this way at a corner. Verstappen's got the slightly better, like, hit the apex of the turn. And Lewis came into Max's back tire, spun Max, sent Max straight forward at a very high speed into the tire barrier. Thank goodness for tire barriers, and also just for the safety of modern Formula One cars. Max was relatively unharmed to go to hospital. All that to say, I agree the penalty was not enough because it was a 10-second penalty. Lewis still won the race because Mercedes cars are still very fast, especially when they're not directly competing with Red Bull. And if one of the Red Bulls is out of the race and the other one had a poor qualifying, because sprint qualifying is a new and interesting beast in that sense, which we could also talk about as I double check if I missed anything around here. Yeah, I think it was Lewis's fault. I think he should have had a stricter penalty. I don't know if it should have been like a race suspension. I wouldn't have minded that, just because it would have kept the championship basically where it was and let basically the rest of the field get a little closer to the top two. Forgive me, my sinuses also have opinions on Formula One. 57 G's into the wall. That's insane. That's insane that he was out of the car and walking, albeit with a limp, like seconds later. 57 G's is insane. That's like spaceflight G's, right? That's like worse than fighter pilots, right? Maybe not worse than, but that dude was flying. Not unlike a fighter pilot. But I don't, it's such a hard decision because the stewards have to make a decision literally during the race if they're going to penalize him in some way during the actual race. But what would be a severe enough penalty besides being like, okay, you cost this dude all his points. Now you don't get any points. But he got a 2-point penalty, which I saw a thing on Reddit today, which is like Sebastian Vettel got a 2-point penalty, or like a 3-point penalty for like something silly during qualifying or whatever. And Lewis got a 2-point penalty for putting a dude into the wall. The current championship leader into a wall, which I know you can't take that into account, but it was a tough situation. But I agree, it wasn't harsh enough. I think I don't know what will be done about it, because the other problem is you can't give that strict of a, I don't want to say you can't, because you should. Depending on how strictly you penalize, it'll determine how drivers drive, and like if they have to be so careful that they can't have a racing incident while in the middle of a race, we won't race anymore, and just whoever qualified highest will just always finish first. That basically happens all the time anyway. It's such a tough thing to go through. It's so weird when people jump right out of the gates and get so polarized just because they like or don't like one driver or one team or another. I tend to never have that strong of opinions on things. I love seeing so many other people have opinions on stuff, except when they revert to like hate, abuse, racism, crappy takes on things. That's never okay. And Lewis got a lot of flack for that. Juan, what's up, man? Good to see you. How are you on this daytime Wednesday stream? We're building Seinfeld's apartment. We have just finished an AC unit. The Commando 8, which I believe was featured in an episode. This might have been the thing that fell out the window, which I think is why its location is right here on an open window. This set makes me want to go back and watch so much Seinfeld. And honestly, if I weren't live streaming this set, I would probably just be watching some episodes of Seinfeld. So it sits here next to an open window, which is a lot of fun. This set just came out today for $80, which is entirely reasonable and justifiable for someone like me. And there ain't someone more like me than me. Yeah, Michaela, you mentioned you live close to COTA. COTA, for those unfamiliar, is Circuit of the Americas, and right now it is the only American track that Formula One comes to. So they do races all over Europe, occasionally in the Middle East and stuff. Also with some controversy there because there's a lot of money in Abu Dhabi and other parts of the world, even though they don't treat their people the best in those parts of the world. But it's a weird thin line there. But yeah, Formula One goes all over the world, but they only come to America for usually one weekend a year, unless we get two. But the only racetrack where they race in America is in Austin. And literally, I don't live there anymore, but I used to live, my last house was in Southeast Austin, which is, I was looking for a sticker. This is a printed piece. Cool. Printed piece of what I'm assuming is a New York bridge, because this is featured in New York. Excuse me again. Yes, Austin is in Texas. It is in central Texas, so we are very far from the ocean, but decent seafood in a lot of places. Decent sushi. Big enough city that you can get pretty much anything you want here. But if you want sushi, you're going to have to rewind like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes to an hour ago. We talked extensively about sushi. More specifically, poke. But Austin, there is a racetrack called Circuit of the Americas. Also a concert venue. I saw Van Halen there a couple of years ago. Rest in peace to Eddie. But my last house, I actually lived very close to COTA, which is in Southeast Austin. That's where my house was because that's the only place I could afford a house. I couldn't afford a house in downtown Austin. I certainly couldn't afford a house anywhere near downtown now. I could barely afford it then. But my work was in that general area, so it wasn't a long commute. But literally on Formula One weekends, if I was in my backyard, I could hear the race going on from my backyard, which is just like Formula One cars are loud and they're just like a high-pitched hum, kind of a whir, if you will. And it's like, you don't need the impersonation of what a whir sounds like. But there was you could hear it from my house. This year I'm considering buying tickets. I think I can still get tickets if I want to go down there. I'll have to find someone to go with. I don't really want to hang out down there by myself. Also, there is a not small wasp that's just landed on one of my lights and is looking at me or in my general direction because he doesn't have, he's got wasp eyes. Now he's above me. Now he's behind me. I'm keeping an eye on him. Oh, there he goes. He's on my computer monitor. Guys, there was no manual on how to handle live stream wasps. I don't have anything. He's on the back of my monitor. As long as we're acting like everything's normal. Abby had a friend who lived in Round Rock. That's funny. I currently live in Round Rock. I say Austin when people say, where do you live? It's Round Rock right now, which is a little ways north of Austin, but the LEGO store I go to is in Austin, official Austin area. Yeah, so it's not a long drive, about a half hour down to the LEGO store, which is all the way in southwest Austin anyway. There's a wasp behind my monitor. I know he's there and I'm a little worried for him. So, I guess we just build normally. And if I get suddenly stung, I guess that was just what was meant to happen here. Colin says, get the zapper racket. That's all the way in the kitchen. I'm not planning it. If I leave now and try to come back, he may not be here when I get back. If I see him again, I'll grab the zapper racket and we will have ourselves some fun. For those who don't know, I have an electric fly swatter. There's a bunch of flies in my area in this season, and my kids, it's the summer, we leave the back door open sometimes, and like I'll just go into the kitchen, there'll just be so many flies flying around. So I got this electric fly swatter, rather my wife got it for me, and I love that thing. Real satisfying zap when it gets them. Kind of cruel, but you just look past that part. Works with a lot of things. Now we search for a printed Lego keyboard amongst a bunch of flipped over 1x2 tile pieces. There it is, always the last one you check. I believe now we are building Jerry's computer desk, which goes in this back left room. Which you don't actually see featured a bunch on the show, but it's nice that it's included here. I guess you see it in the background of plenty of the show. But yeah, I like that the whole apartment is, I say the whole apartment, the whole part of the apartment that actually matters is included, because the bedroom isn't included, which would have made the set too big. I'm fine with exactly what LEGO decided to include. I do like that we got this like supplementary little stage bit, since just about every single episode has that area featured in some form or another. I'm very happy with what was thrown in here. I don't think it quite has the same exact effect as the big Friends sets, but I think Friends is just a bigger franchise, and so they could justify 2 sets for that, and larger sets with more details. There are more characters, more minifigures, just bigger all around. But if I had to pick between Friends and Seinfeld, Seinfeld would win out any day of the week in straight hand-to-hand combat. Pick any friend, put him against Seinfeld, no contest. Dude's a New Yorker. Oh crap, Friends is in New York too. Were there ever any crossover episodes? Were the shows on at the same time? Friends is much later, right? This is the computer in Jerry's apartment with another fun little reference. Vandelay Industries, latex goods. That is George's fake business when he was between jobs and had to convince the employment agency that he was looking for stuff or had something lined up. He made up a company called Vandelay Industries. Jerry was the CEO, Art Vandelay. I forgot a piece here. So George is running out. He was in the bathroom, and the employment agency, he gives Jerry's number, and Jerry answers, and they're like, Vandelay. And he's like, Vandelay who? There's no Vandelay here. And then George is in the bathroom, and he runs out, pants down. Art Vandelay, whatever. It's a classic moment. This is, the instructions say to just rotate this piece over and over again. That's why I was doing so. I was saying before, the flooring of this build, not entirely exciting. The walls of this build, also not crazy exciting. The things that are actually exciting to someone like me are very tiny furniture bits. Speaking of furniture, is a lamp furniture, because this is a lamp. A very tiny desk lamp that sits on Jerry's desk. Little reading lamp, if you will. And this bit is under his desk, I think like that. I think the desk legs are already in place. Over here, we end up with a little computer area. Maybe everything that gets squeezed in that back room. Computer, a couple of radiators maybe, little chair. Sorry if the camera wouldn't focus. We're now at the bicycle that I assembled prematurely because I got excited because it's a bright green color. And I think this one just gets hung or mounted on a wall. I can't actually remember if Seinfeld uses or references his bike very much at any point in the series. And they say to stick it in there like this. That goes there. That, there, this. Like this. It's kind of like... Oh. Bicycle goes on the wall. So, just this little area here is just storage, I suppose. A little bit of storage. Has everyone else forgotten about the wasp that is just somewhere in my office? The doors are closed. He's not going to leave on his own. Only one of us is leaving this office today. And so if I suddenly leave and a small wasp starts finishing this build in my place, you know which of us was victorious. But like and subscribe to the new Wasp Build Stuff channel. Look like a young wasp, so we might be around for a while. Might have more energy than I do. Talked earlier about energy drinks and how I am off of them, at least for now. The wasp won't even need them. They got that natural young insect energy. Energy is wasted on the youth. He went behind my monitor. He's still there. My little face cam is on top of my monitor. It'd be very funny if he just climbed over and I didn't see him, but my face cam there just got replaced by a wasp thorax. I was going to say torso, but I think they're exoskeletons. Nikki said, didn't Seinfeld drive a Saab? I don't know. There's like a bunch of there's a lot of vehicles, but they're all like 90s vehicles, and I feel like everything just looked like a big Lincoln Town Car. I know they weren't. He could have driven a Saab. I know the character Seinfeld liked Porsches. I don't think he ever had a Porsche in the show. The real life person likes Porsches also. He had at least one Porsche poster in his apartment. I think like this sticker is supposed to be a Porsche. There's another Porsche sticker. Maybe it's a printed piece. I think there's several Porsche references though on here, but I don't know what Jerry actually drove in the show, but they did have cars, but I don't remember him bicycling much. Maybe I'll binge the entire Seinfeld discography before making the review for this set, which is to say the review will come out in a couple of years because there are a lot of episodes of that show. Shipwreck, do I play video games or is Lego my only hobby? Lego's like my secondary hobby. I would think I would actually venture to say that video games is maybe my main hobby that I have chosen not to share with anyone else. Like Lego's a hobby that I will gladly be like, I want to do this with other people. I want to stream it. Like it's fun to do like Lego as a community thing. Like I would have no desire to stream video games or anything else, but I love video games. Xbox specifically, I've mentioned this before. I don't have a PC either for gaming or for work because I do web development stuff. A Mac is best used for that, so I don't really play games on a computer, but I've been playing games my whole life. And so even in like talking about all the new Lego sets that are coming out, there's a bunch of new games coming out later this year too, because E3 was earlier this year, and then they announced a bunch of stuff for like September, fall time. So like in the next couple of months, we're getting a bunch of new games, and a bunch of them for free if you have Xbox Game Pass. Not really free, but like it's a monthly thing. That's a great service, great price. I like all kind of games though. Racing games I like. I don't love first-person shooters. I love puzzle games. Big old RPGs, Skyrims, Fallouts, those are all great. I've been really wanting another big game I can get lost in, and I'm really tempted to pick up the Mass Effect collection because they got the remastered 1, 2, and 3, and I've never played any of those. I think I played a little of one of them a long time ago, but I have no nostalgic attachment to them, but like I know I would really enjoy those games, the aesthetic, the just gameplay, every bit of it. So I'm purposely not buying those because I don't have the time to sink into something like that. So I usually pick up smaller games to just play for if they have a lot of easy achievements. I also love achievement hunting. I don't know if many people do that anymore, but I love arbitrarily collecting gamer score. Maybe I also just love like the little bit of completion. I'm a completionist, I like collecting things, and so achievements absolutely seem to go hand in hand with like people that would like Lego would probably like collecting achievements in video games kind of thing, or just collectibles in general. Assassin's Creed games are really great. I have not yet finished Valhalla, but I've played a bunch of it. I've played almost every other game to completion. I think Odyssey was the latest one I liked a lot. What was the one after Odyssey? Was it Origins? A couple of them came out really close to each other. think it was Origins that had like a bunch of DLC that I liked, but like kind of dragged on. Maybe it was Odyssey that had dragged on DLC. They're all very good, but they've gotten very large to complete for someone like me who does have other hobbies and wants to complete other things, but I also want to play other things and do other things, and sometimes I have to do things like work. Ugh. Not today, not right now, obviously, because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we're building Lego. We're still going. We're on bag 4. Did I ever watch Frasier? Travis asks. There's literally like we're gonna start over. The sentence that I tried to say just then had about 6 words in it, and I messed up like 3 out of 4 of them. I've either had too much iced coffee, not enough iced coffee. Do you think DoorDash would bring me another iced coffee? Do you think I could tell my wife I want a DoorDash coffee and she'll be like, why would we spend money on DoorDash? I'll just go get it. And that's my way to get someone to bring me more iced coffee. That may be detrimental to me at this point, more than the opposite of detrimental. Beneficial. This can't go here. I've missed a step. Jamae, you completed Odyssey twice? That's insane to me. Because like there's like 9 other Assassin's Creed games like that you could have also played. Not that I loved the like ancient Greece look and feel of everything. How did I miss an entire section here? It was a part of this page. Did I skip this entire page? Nope, I just did half of these steps and then stopped. Still confused. Ben's still rocking it? Am I still rocking this set? Is that what it's a reference to? I think I'll build till about 5 p.m. my time, unless my voice or words give out before then, or if the wasp gets me before now and then. For those uninformed, we are on Wasp Watch. This is Wasp Watch because there is a live wasp in my office. He was last spotted flying literally behind the computer monitor that I'm looking at. We're going to assume he's still there. And so I'll try to stream till about 5 p.m. because though I do work from home and I do have a flexible work schedule, I do still work normal hours just for the stability of family and children so that my kids know I'll be home at 5 p.m. That's still 2 hours or an hour 45 away. I don't know if that'd be enough to finish the entire set. It's only a couple bags left, but at the rate I'm going, the coffee might wear off, the wasp might get me, my voice may be fine, but my words will not. Any number of things could happen that would cut us short and prevent us from finishing this, so I would love to finish this today, and then there would be a very slight chance that I would review it tonight, but I'll probably be too tired to review it tonight. Make a review video about it tomorrow. Maybe publish that on Friday. We'll see about all of those things. Okay, back to the step that I thought I was on before that I had skipped so many other things. Oh, did I watch Frasier? Yes, I did. My wife and I watched all of Frasier a while ago. It became our like TV show with dinner show for a long time. We loved Frasier. I loved Frasier, which is funny because I think we watched Frasier like a short time after I had. I lived in Seattle for 3 months to go there for like code school, essentially, to learn how to code, which I now do professionally. So the school is pretty good. And Frasier is set in Seattle. Very good show. Very good characters. Very well written. And then it made us want to go back and watch Cheers, because Frasier was a spin-off show from Cheers. We'd never watched that, so we're trying to watch a couple episodes of that every once in a while, but I can't quite tell if it's kid-friendly enough that we could have it on while we're eating dinner and the kids are at the table with iPads or something. but we haven't gotten very far into cheers. Here's something that's actually kind of uncommon amongst Lego sets, is that in the same bag, there are like two pieces that are exactly the same of two different kinds of grays. We got light bluish and dark bluish grays of the same kind of piece. And so like looking at a step, it's hard to tell exactly what they want. I'm going to make the assumption that it's dark bluish, mostly because there are also 1x1s used, and I don't see any light bluish gray 1x1s around. So I think this is a relatively safe bet that this is what they want here. This is the top of the doorway, which is confusing. Oh, only one 1x1. Only one 1x1. Only one 1x1. Only one 1x1. It's a voice exercise. You should all try it at home. Otherwise, I look like a crazy person mumbling only one 1x1 to myself. I guess I'm not by myself. There's also a wasp in here with me. And he can't chastise me, though he can literally sting me, which would actually be a lot worse than being chastised. You know, the whole sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. It's true, but stingers can hurt you. I don't want to make any assumptions. I try my best not to make assumptions. But I assume that wasps want to sting me. I hope I'm not going too far in saying that. I assume that a wasp has the worst intentions for me as a person. It's never met me, it doesn't know me, but I don't think it will try to get to know me before making the decision to sting me. Maybe I am the one being irrational here, and the wasp wants to live its merry old life, and I want to live mine, and there is some world in which we can cohabitate. But like Colin was saying earlier, if I had my electric fly swatter with me, I'd swat the heck out of that wasp right now. And were I not live streaming, I would walk away and find him. What are you doing, camera? You're okay? You're okay, I'm okay. Everyone out there is okay. The wasp I cannot speak for because I've forgotten about him. I'm not going to waste any more mental energy or verbal energy on that wasp. He doesn't deserve it. Or she doesn't deserve it. Or Willie the wasp doesn't deserve it. Don't give it a name, you'll get attached. You won't want to swat it. When the time comes, I will do what I have to do. And what I have to do is find a jumper plate. No, I don't. That was confusing. We're building, I don't know, maybe an architect out there can tell me, maybe a furniture expert can tell me. We've got both of them around. Some wall decorations, little, I was going to say sconce. Maybe it's supposed to be a lamp. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Nikki, you like Married with Children? I don't know if I've ever watched Married with Children. Is that the one with the dude and the wife and the children and the sitcom antics? If so, maybe I do know what you're talking about. But I don't think I've ever seen it or watched it very much. I know I'm going crazy for more reason than one, but I've got phantom bug feelings now. If you all would like to experience them also, just imagine that you know that there's an insect in your office, and at any time he could be crawling on your skin. I have the feeling that something is crawling on my skin, often and currently. And it's frightening. Here in the back room above Jerry's computer is a little a baseball poster. I said it earlier, but go watch Ash and Flash's video about this set that goes through all the references, because he literally he pulls up the picture of the actual poster in the apartment and what this Lego-fied version is doing to it. I think it's a nice recreation, and I think that's a good video. Al Bundy, yes, that is the one I was actually thinking of, with the wife with the big red hair or something. Yeah, I am familiar. I love sitcoms. I loved them very much when I was younger. Still love them now, just don't watch very much TV now because of other hobbies, and also children and work. I am literally now living married with children because I am married with children. You didn't need that second part. I recognize that. I understand it. I apologize for it. Travis says, did I ever watch The Nanny? Yes, that's another one that it's more, some of these shows, like my wife watched them, and so like she would have had them on, and I would just end up seeing all of them. The Nanny's good. It's good if you can tolerate large helpings of Fran Drescher, who now has a minifigure. And I guess I've seen, I guess it's a popular enough show, because I feel like I've seen Lego sets of the Nanny house on Lego Ideas. I don't know if it reached 10,000 votes, but I'm sure it was a relatively popular show at the time, and still holds good memories in a lot of people's minds. I don't know that I'd build it. It would be like this, like it'd just be a big building. And so as a Lego set, I don't know that it would be anything super special, but for fans of the show, I absolutely hope that all those things get made, because if there's someone that likes The Nanny as much as I like Seinfeld, then you do deserve to have a Lego set of your favorite show. Unfortunately, that won't be a reality for every single show that we liked. I think I've seen Lego Idea sets of Frasier's apartment that were done very well, because he actually had like a really cool designed and shaped apartment with a nice modern art style, which I love. For some reason, give me like a raw, there's a name for it, but like when a wall looks like it's concrete, like a skim coat on the wall. I love that look. I'm almost running out of voice and iced coffee, and when these two phenomena intersect, I will have no choice but to leave the office, get a drink, and pick up the fly swatter also while I'm in the kitchen. And then stuff's going down. Oh, I didn't even mention, I forgot. Ninja with the Bricks isn't here. Shout out to Ninja with the Bricks. I think that's his full name. He likes Pokemon cards. Plenty of people like Pokemon cards. They're showing back up in stores, guys. The world is healing. Pokemon cards are back in Targets. And so when I be walking through the Lego aisle, I'll be like, there's nothing here I want. Gotta go check the Pokemon card aisle. They're back. I don't even know who this Pokemon is. He's from a newer, I can't keep up. I don't have a Switch. I don't have the time. I would love a Switch. I'd love to play all the new games. Pokemon cards are back. We should crack open some Pokemon cards. For a reason. Get the stream to this many likes, and I'll open some Pokemon cards. How many likes are there? Get the stream to 20 likes, and I'll open some Pokemon cards. Put them over here just to keep them on everyone's mind. I didn't even know where I could see likes, but I guess I can see them over there. Okay. Cool. Cool. There's all kinds of numbers over there. I didn't even know that was over there. I'm learning a lot here. I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. I'm also learning a lot of things about live streaming. Like that somehow I keep missing entire steps. That part shouldn't be surprising. I'm like half paying attention to what I'm doing, half paying attention to chat, half still thinking about the wasp. He's actually taking up a very large percentage of my my thoughts right now. Hashtag thoughts and prayers. But also, I'm deathly allergic to wasps, so this may not end so well for me. That's not true. I am in no real danger or harm unless I have an allergy that I am unaware of, which I don't think I do. But I've been stung by bees and wasps plenty of times in the past. I was a very adventurous, outdoorsy child. I have since become a much more insidey adult. It's less fun to say than outdoorsy. That being said, I don't want to get stung by a wasp. I'm still thinking about him. Shipwreck, you rewatched The Office 6 times? I've probably seen The Office multiple times, but if I'm picking like a favorite sitcom from the modern days, Community, if you can call it a sitcom, Community is number one for me by a long shot. Every character is fantastic. The writing is fantastic. Dan Harmon is fantastic. That show is perfect to me. I love all of Community. I also very much like Parks and Rec. That's fantastic. The characters are so weird out there. They allow themselves, like Community, I like shows that allow themselves to be ridiculous. Community does so. The Office does so to a degree, but they still like try to ground people in reality. Parks and Rec goes crazy with it. I've never seen I feel like there was another sitcom mentioned. Maybe not. There's a lot that I just straight up overlooked. But I would get home from school, like, maybe it was high school. I'd watch, like, the Drew Carey Show every day. I love the Drew Carey Show. There was another show that had David Spade in it, which I think was on at the same time as all these other shows. And it should have been crazy popular. Like, it had... I can't remember the name of it. I think David Spade was the main dude. It had, like, a bunch of good actors in it. I think it crossed over with Friends or Seinfeld at some point. Like it should have been popular, and everyone forgot about it because it never went into syndication or whatever it is when shows are just on television permanently. Extra pieces. I think we've successfully completed that bag. Hello, Anesh. Good to see you. You're new. That's wonderful. And it's wonderful that you're here, because when we reach 20 likes, we're going to open some Pokemon cards, if that's something that you're interested in, because Pokemon cards are back in stores, but I don't think we've reached 20 likes quite yet. We are about to start bag 5 of the LEGO Seinfeld set. Veronica's Closet, I don't think that was the name of it. Also, cool. Cool. Oh, that 70s show Travis mentioned. I've seen some of that 70s show. I never really got into it, I don't think. I think it was on when I was a little older and I was doing other stuff. Just Shoot Me. Could have been that. I don't know. There were a lot of random sitcoms back in the day. I think I'm going to take like a 2-minute break. Thank you for liking it, Ash. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'm going to get another drink so that my voice doesn't go out. We're going to go for another hour and a half here, at least until 5 p.m. my time, which is in an hour and a half. Or until we finish the build, which may come together rather closely to each other. So give me a few minutes, and then I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves about your favorite sitcoms, and I will be right back. Y'all, I'm back. So I while I was standing up, I went and I checked behind my monitor to see if the wasp was still there. He's moved, and I looked around my office, and you can barely see him. Right there, there's a little dot on my wall, right above the Mandalorian. And what I have now is an electric fly swatter. And so, into the unknown I venture. One of us will return and finish the stream. I'm going to assume the wasp is not as good at building Lego as I am. So, you may see a slight zap here. If you're fond of insects, sorry. Michaela was here earlier. She is an ecologist. I see 19 likes. If you say 20 likes, we'll crack some Pokemon cards anyway. Maybe we'll open some now and open some after the stream. This is assuming I get back from the, killing. Uh-oh. He's gone. No, he's still there. Okay. What I usually do with this, I usually try to, like, cup it over the boss very quickly, or the bug very quickly. So that's what I'm going to try to do. It won't be so much as swinging as just to put it on top of him. Here we go. He's too flat. Got him. Oh, we got him. We got him. He flew. Ooh. Stinky. He smells charbroiled, baby. Charbroiled. Here we are. You may say he was a little fella. You may say he went before his time. There he is. If I activate this, it may zap him again. Here we go. Now I'm holding down the zap button. Oh, there he goes. He's crackling. Ooh. Oh, literal smoke. Literal smoke emerging. Sorry, little fella. Before your time was up. But it was you or me, you always knew it had to come to this. Ooh. The saga of the wasp is over. I feel relieved. I feel good. Let's open some Pokemon cards. Literally, that thing will toast up the flies that you catch if you leave them in there and keep zapping them. Ooh, thank you for the support, everybody. I had some adrenaline there. Wash it down with a Coke Zero. Remember, cut out that sugar. Have you ever watched Night Court? No, I feel like I've heard of that show. I was never into, I don't know that was a crime drama so much as like something was just slipped under my office door. Like a courtroom drama, I guess it would be called. I was never really into court stuff as an entertainment medium. Let's remember how to do this. So here's your thing if you'd like to get Pokemon cards online for free. I got a billion of these things sitting in my drawers. I also do collect Pokemon cards as someone who collects things. So what is it? You take 3 off the back. You take 4 off the back. And then that's your rare. I'm gonna peek. Yes, because the first one is cheap. Junky. So the best card should be at the back. This is from Sword and Shield. So there may be some fellas in here that I do not recognize. Got an energy card. We got a Croc, which I've used in my party before because he is ground and dark type. I like dark. Dark type. Here's another energy. Here is a Galvantula, evolved form of Joltik. Here is a Pikipek. Here is a Poochyena. A Rockruff, I like that dude, in a newer generation. A Blitzel, he's a zebra with electricity, watch out. Here's a Skidoo. And here is a First Hollow Trainer Stadium and a Forterris as our rare. Not a great pull. Am I a Pogo player? Ben? I played a lot of Pokemon Go when it first came out. I'd spent a lot of time in downtown Austin because I lived a lot closer to there, and I think downtown Austin is actually a great place to play because there's a lot of walking trails and stuff. I would play down by the river, down by like Auditorium Shores and stuff. There was a great loop you could do around the river area, hit a bunch of Pokemon stops, tons of good spawns. That's when I lived closer to there. When I moved further away, I started spoofing because I wasn't trying to play competitively or whatever. I just wanted to collect them all, and so I would spoof sometimes and just have my dude walking around while I was working and stuff, hatching eggs and stuff, because I just want to catch them all. I just wanted one of all the originals. I got them all. I got all 150, 151, and then I haven't really played much since. We got one more pack of Pokemon cards that we can open at some later point, maybe towards the end of the stream. I don't know. I'm going to set it aside for now. We're going to open up bag number 5 of LEGO Seinfeld. I feel good, man. I feel good. I got another drink. Went to the bathroom. killed an innocent creature. What a way to reinvigorate your afternoon. You know that, like, during the workday, you're like hit 2 or 3 o'clock, you start slogging or whatever. Just get up and just swat a wasp with an electric fly swatter. That'll get you going. That'll wake you up, finish your day out right. May get some weird looks from your coworkers, but gotta do what you gotta do. In bag 5, we have our third of the classic Seinfeld characters, being Elaine Bennis, the one with the dancing with the thumbs, and this excellent hairpiece, which I'm suspicious is the same as the hairpiece that we just got in Madame Rosmerta's minifigure in the Hogsmeade set from Harry Potter, which conveniently is still on the table behind me. Where are you, Rosmerta? There it is. I was partially right. Have I watched Adrian Monk? No. Is that the show that was entitled Monk? No, I liked it. I was like, I think it's the same hairpiece. There's Madame Rosmerta, and she didn't have her hair, but it was on the floor because I have children. Looks similar. Yeah, I think it's a recolor of the same hairpiece. Very sizable hair on these couple of ladies. Serious hair business. Yeah, 40 likes, second bag. I doubt we'll reach that by an hour and a half from now. But hey, smash that like button, whatever, do whatever you want. I'm not in it for the likes, guys. I'm in it for the cash. The revenue. The advertising revenue. I don't know if I monetize this stream. I don't know if it matters. I don't know if ads play during live streams. I don't know a lot of things about YouTube. I know that I like Lego, and sometimes I'll make content revolving around Lego. So that's the extent of my knowledge. This is Elaine. She's holding a goldfish. In this episode, I actually remember quite well. By quite well, I remember at least the context of the goldfish, and that it's the parking garage episode where our main characters cannot find their vehicle, and Elaine has a goldfish that she won, and it's in a baggie, and they're freaking out because they can't find a car in the parking garage. They're wandering around the parking garage the whole time. And she's worried that the goldfish is going to die. I think someone has to go to the bathroom really badly, and then a cop shows up. It's a fantastic episode. I don't remember all the details about it, but I wouldn't want to spoil them if I did. But it's a good one. There's a lot of good Seinfeld episodes, and a lot of good sitcoms. And Travis keeps asking about episodes or sitcoms and whether or not I've watched them, and I realized I haven't watched as many as I wish I had. There's a lot of sitcom content out there that I am not very familiar with. Your sitcoms. Ben, did you sneeze on your keyboard? If Lauren is still here, is that a medical term? Does anyone in the medical industry want to clarify? If anyone is nearby to Ben and can go check on him and make sure he's okay. Actually, I may be the closest of all of us to Ben because he's like one city down. Do I need to check and make sure you're okay? Do I? I can. Not right now. I'm in the middle of something, but like afterwards maybe. If we don't hear from Ben again, assume I've gone to check on him, make sure he's all good. Make sure he's all good. Jerry has rhombocytitis. Is that that episode? Maybe I don't remember that episode as well as I thought I did. Is that from the Oh, do they make that up to tell the cop that he had to go to the bathroom? Do you know Seinfeld better than I do? Are you going to build this set live on stream? If you do, can you grace us with some Seinfeld facts? Because I'm just kind of making stuff up. I believe we are starting to build the kitchen of this set, which is this general right side of the build. The kitchen is hopefully more fun to build than a real kitchen was, because I built a real kitchen in the last year. A lot of work, man. Putting all these cabinets together, tiling a backsplash, installing appliances, undoing a bunch of old electrical, redoing a bunch of new electrical. It is a hassle and a half. Speaking of hassle and a half, Travis said, did I ever watch Baywatch? Never, like, as a show. I'm sure if I was a young teenager left alone with a television and I was flipping channels, as I often did, because I was just emulating what I saw in my father, and he was a channel flipper. Kids don't even know, that's not even a thing anymore, right? Because cable isn't really a thing anymore. You don't flip channels. But I was flipping channels, and I was a young man, and I happened to cross some good old David Hasselhoff. Might stop and watch for a few minutes, because the life of a lifeguard is never boring, according to that show. According to reality, though, the life of a lifeguard looks pretty boring. They just sit in a chair, hang out in the sun, watch people swim. Sounds like a dream job. I just want to hang out in a chair. I don't want to save people. Maybe I just want to go to the beach. Maybe that's really what I want to do. I don't want a job going to the beach or pool. I would just like to visit a beach or a pool. And then I can also sit there and watch people swim or swim myself without this obligation of having to save someone if something happens, if something goes wrong. Let's do that instead. Let's just have a Josh Beaches stuff. Not everything has to be within the context of Josh Builds stuff just because that's a channel name. I didn't give that much thought to the channel name, if that's not evident enough. And it has not served me well. If you yourself are thinking of starting a channel, Lego or otherwise, give some thought to the name of it. Because you're going to try to make some fun or punny names out of your name of your channel, and it's going to be more difficult than you think. You're going to be like me, and you're going to be putting stuff after everything, and that doesn't even make that much sense most of the time. Oh, okay, I was right. Why didn't I just call the guy? Wait, is that from Seinfeld, or is that something I was supposed to do? Was it in the context of building a kitchen? Why didn't I call a guy? Because guys cost money when you call them to repair your home or build your kitchen for you. I asked a bunch of dudes. I was like, hey, will you like remodel my entire kitchen for me? And they were like, yeah, but you got to pay me. And I was like, what? I could do it myself for free. And so I did. Not entirely for free. I still had to buy cabinets and tile and thin set and trowels and grout and a case of gout that may have occurred. No, yeah, we remodeled the entire kitchen of this house and the last house. And I'm not keen on moving to another house because chances are we'll remodel that kitchen too. It is an IKEA kitchen for the most part, with some custom IKEA cabinets, if you can call them that. And that's when I cut an IKEA cabinet into a smaller cabinet to make it fit the space I need. But I installed all the new appliances myself because I've done that before. It's not too difficult. I think I'll usually call someone else to like hook up the stove gas line because we have a gas stove, and I do not want to mess with gas in my house. In all seriousness, as much as I love to joke around, I don't mess with gas because that is a silent killer. You could just have gas leaking in your house and it can drive you crazy, or literally you don't wake up when you go to sleep. Remember how this was a nice, chill, lighthearted stream? Don't mess with gas. They do scent the gas so that it is an odorless gas, but they add a scent to it so that you would smell it if you were in any danger. Gas ain't no joke. Electrical is no joke either, but for some reason I'm more comfortable with that because I can switch off a breaker most of the time and then not have to worry about it. So I don't usually call people to do my electrical or my anything. This weekend, if anyone stalks me on a very personal level, you already know this. If anyone had driven by my house in the last couple of days, you may notice that I have a different front door now. Now it's got windows on it. Much more light coming into the living room. I do not enjoy installing doors. I've installed several doors. We get pre-hung doors down from the old Home Depot. Pre-hung just means it's a door with the frame built around it. And then the door is already on it with the hinges and everything. You just got to pop out the old door and then make sure the general foundation is square for the most part. And then you put a new door in its place. And it seems simple enough, but doors are finicky. I would pay for someone else to install doors for me, and have done so before, because it's such a annoying little art form to get it to be square, because not only does it need to be level with just like the universe, you need to level with itself and level with your house, but it also has to be square, right? So if it's a box, it can't be this way or this way, but it also can't be this way or this way or this way or this way. There's a lot of different angles and dimensions to just getting a door to sit in the right place, and it's the front door, right? And so once you commit to knocking out the old front door, and literally if it won't come out, I had to sawzall the old door frame out from where it was. I had to just cut that sucker out, and so there was no turning back at that point. Your front door is off. You have to install a new door by the end of the day, or else you're going to sleep without a door on your house. That being said, we did get it installed. It is relatively square, and most of the issues we were having with installing it were a manufacturer defect in that the bit of weather stripping on the bottom, the piece of metal that attached that was slightly warped and was making it seem like the door wouldn't close, even though it should have closed fine on its own. Long story short, the door is there, so no need to stress. I do have a door on my house. It locks and everything. And now there's windows on it, so now brightly lit. And I got home from the LEGO store today, and my wife, who was like, I didn't sleep well last night. When you go to LEGO store, I'm gonna take a nap. I was like, nice. I got home, and she had repainted the front door to the new door color. And I was like, I thought you was gonna be sleeping. And she did not. We gotta get this house looking nice. It'll be done sometime in the next 30 years. By the time we pay off our mortgage, we'll be done with the renovations. Which someone asked if video games were another hobby of mine, or if it was just Lego. It's like Lego is a hobby, video games are a hobby, and also kind of home renovations are a hobby. Like if you notice, if there's like other people live streaming during the week and stuff, I'll pop into those streams, say hey, hang out. I'll lurk while I work. But like on weekends, I disappear from the Lego world because weekends are for house projects. And either I'm doing house projects during the day, like I still may be available at night, but then I'm so tired from the house projects during the day, I just want to chill. So I don't do a lot of content on the weekends, either like consumption or creation. But yeah, Josh builds stuff, speaking of names, is slightly fitting because I do build stuff besides just Lego stuff. Oh, I'm building a fridge. I was like, what am I building here? Next page revealed it. It is in fact a fridge. For those who were on the same mental journey along with me. Oh, a 2.5 Men set. Didn't the characters there, didn't the show have a weird reputation because of Charlie Sheen's craziness? Even though that show may still be on, because that show was like, it's such a ridiculous moneymaker, right? I watched a little bit about that show and I was like, this is all right. I like very clever comedy, like Community, or like you have to have really likable characters. I try to think of like why I like Seinfeld so much. And it's like because the dude he lived in obviously a weird sitcom world where ridiculous things happened all the time. But he was rarely like the cause of the ridiculousness. It was like a lot of stuff happening around him with the very out there characters of Kramer and George and stuff. And so like he was largely like a spectator, but also like so oddly like carefree that I'd be like, I don't know, just his reaction to the craziness around him is not how a normal person would react. It was more that he was entertained by it than how you or I would have reacted. Also, on the side of the fridge, I don't really remember these from the show, but there are a couple of pot holders, and they are stickers that are like the exact pot holder shape, which is very weird to put stickers on a surface that they do not fit on. I mean, they obviously fit, but like they do not take up the entire surface like these two stickers do. The fridge is where like they're like, hey, we need like 10 more references. All right, put them all in the fridge. Obviously, Jerry loves Superman. They got a little picture of Larry David there, who was like the show's co-creator, and was, I think, in a couple episodes of the show. There's another Porsche on there. I think it's supposed to be a magnet. There are 3 different instances of yada, 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 and yada, which is a reference, of course, to the yada, 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 yada episode. They're like, you skipped the best part. You yada, yada, the best part. This little top red, white, and black magnet, I think is like a racing logo thing that's on the fridge. And then a menu there at the bottom about Monk's Cafe, which is, of course, the diner where our cast of characters hang out and spend so much time. So, ton of references on the fridge, looking very nice. Wait, what? Adora says, okay, fine. The wasp flew in when you were painting the front door. He flew into my office and you got scared. Babe, you're the reason. Adora is my wife, by the way. Hello to her. You just admitted I was streaming in fear I've been in fear this entire time. I had to destroy a living thing on stream. And now I literally just told the story of installing the front door, house projects rampant, and you come in, the front door was open because you were painting it. Thank you for that. It looks great, by the way. And now we all learn that it flew into my office. You closed the doors, and the thing is, you didn't tell me. Did you think it wouldn't come up? Did you think I wouldn't notice? I'm gonna get you back. We're big prankers in our marriage. We love to prank each other. We love to watch YouTube videos of other couples pranking each other. Seems like the most fun thing to do, right? The person that you've vowed to spend your life with, just make them feel uneasy in their own home and own spaces. Yeah, prank the heck out of each other. I got a good prank. She's already stopped listening, so don't worry about it. Guys, there's a local beekeeper in Round Rock. They make Round Rock honey, right? I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna be like, hey, I need to borrow like 600 bees. They won't ask any questions. They'll let me borrow some bees, right? I'm gonna do this. My wife's gonna be out with the kids, doing some cool wife and kids activities. I go into the bedroom. I open up the bee cage, otherwise known as a hive. Just let those 600 bees go in the bedroom. She comes home with the kids or whatever from doing stuff out there, and I'd be like, oh babe, you grab me some socks? Guess where we keep the socks, guys? In the bedroom. You guessed it. She goes in the bedroom full of bees everywhere. That's gonna be the prank video of the hour. There's a lot of prank content coming out. It'd be hard to beat the algorithm. Josh Prank Stuff. Welcome to the new channel, Josh Prank Stuff. Or as suggested, just Josh Does Stuff, as mentioned earlier. We got a microwave. Microwave. Excuse me. We are not prankers. That was a joke. I could not find a bee if I needed to. And I do. I scare my wife all the time. Entirely unintentionally. We are a headphone household. That is to say that we do not play things out loud. Like the TV will be out loud, the kids will have iPads out loud, but when my wife and I listen to things, we put headphones on. And these days, headphones are noise-canceling headphones. And so my wife and I just walk around our house not able to hear anything else, including our children. It's not actually the best situation for everyone. But being a headphone household, we sneak up on each other more than you'd like to. And so I scare my wife often, which is not always my fault, because sometimes I'm just doing normal stuff. And it's like, what are you doing here? And it's like, well, I live here in my home. What am I doing in my room? In my bedroom? Just like normal person bedroom things. Yeah, I was joking about pranking. I don't understand that. I mean, I know I understand that people do anything for clicks and views or whatnot. Heck, I just staged this whole thing about a wasp just to get a few extra clicks. You know what I mean? That's not true. The wasp was real, and the fear was real too. So I don't understand people who, like, if you're staging the content, sure, whatever. That's just stupid. But if you're actually doing things to like frighten your spouse, I'm gonna break up with you. I'm not even your spouse, but I'm going to break up with you. Here, we are building underside of cabinets. Not as interesting as the backside of water, but not all things can be. Maybe a dishwasher, maybe some little appliances in here. This part of the build is equal parts therapeutic and kind of annoying. Just because it's all like these little very strange, not really symmetrical bits of the build. Just kind of like feels like tossing some pieces in there at random, but then at the end they'll look kind of like a kitchen as I throw half the build across the office. Yeah, this is the front of the stove as I spoil more of the build for myself by looking ahead a few steps. This is the front of the stove. I don't know if I'll describe this set. A lot of times I'll while I'm building a set, I'll think about like, how will you describe this set in a review kind of video? Like, what will the build be described as? And I don't know. Maybe just describe it as weird. Because it stays interesting, right? Something's supposed to be overhanging here and it's not. Oh, it's because this is a mini build that I decided to ignore. I do not do well with paper builds. The pages do not fold so well on each other. I feel like we ran out of sitcoms. Did we name every 90s sitcom that was out there? We've got a lot of them. I've watched a lot of them. So if you sneak up on someone with an axe, you're not scaring them. You're just out hunting for wood. I think context is important in that case, Nikki. If you're in a forest, dressed like a lumberjack, sure, that's a perfectly valid excuse. If you're in the kitchen, and it's 2 a.m, your wife walks out and says, where have you been? I woke up, I realized you weren't there. And you go hunting for wood in the kitchen at night, some questions will be asked there. Context is very important. If you are at a woodchopper's convention, good place to have an axe. Strange place to visit, but I'm sure these things exist. There's LEGO conventions after all. There's probably conventions for everything. If you're at an elementary school parking lot with an axe, questions are going to be asked again. Context, very important. If Dora is ever out in the woods listening to a true crime podcast with noise-canceling headphones on, any scares you encounter are entirely your fault, axe or no axe. That is true. That is true. I have an excellent method that I use to avoid being scared while listening to true crime podcasts. Can you guess what it is? That's right. I do not listen to true crime podcasts because they bring me down, man. They don't frighten me. They just makes me sad to think that crime is a real thing. This sounds weird, but my wife is literally here to validate my strangeness. But like, knowing that bad things happen in the world without listening to a podcast about the bad things, I would never have heard about the bad things. But if I listen to a podcast, then I hear about the bad things. And then the bad things are in my head and they make me feel bad. Bad begets bad is what I always said that this one time. This is missing something. This needs to be built up higher, it feels like. Let us take apart the entire kitchen to find out. Yeah, I think I need a 1x2 on here. This is hurting my finger. I need some tweezers. Never mind, I got it. Oh, something was slipped under my door. I meant to go check on what it was. Perhaps we can do that after this bag. Also, guys, I got bad news. I don't think we're getting to that second pack of Pokemon cards. I might just open it at the end of stream because I want to, and I forgot I had them, and I was waiting to open them until stream, even though, like with most things, I'm opening them for me because I want them for me. The stove is actually done in a fun way because it uses a grill piece. Not like a grill, but like a grill from a car. Like a car grill, as is commonly used in LEGO context. Also, is this supposed to be like Jerry has a little green bottle under the counter? Because I feel like there was an episode where there's something about like a bottle of some nefarious stuff. Nefarious just being alcoholic. I don't think alcohol features a lot in Seinfeld, which is to say it could be relatively family friendly and could be friendly enough to use as the context of a Lego set, but there are still a lot of adult themes, right, that just are in Seinfeld as a show, which is why even Lego making like the yada yada reference is surprising, because wasn't that kind of an innuendo in and of itself? It feels that way, but I guess Friends had plenty of adult themes also, and this is an 18 plus set, so there's an implication of a lot of adultness. Okay, so this is the front bit of the counter, and I believe the rest of the kitchen will be like upper cabinets and stuff. I will not finish this build in this stream, I do not think. Slight chance I'll hop back on tonight to finish it, but slight chance I also will not, and if I do, it won't be a scheduled stream, so I'm not sure. But I may just want to knock this one out today. We got a sink, we got a stove, we got a microwave, we got a fridge. It's everything you need for a cabinet, except for, obviously, upper cabinets. Did I say cabinet or kitchen there? I meant to say kitchen. It is interesting how many, I don't remember what these are called. Not vent pieces, line pieces. How many of these are included in this build? It's like the entire lower part of the wall is done with these textured bits. Yeah, Ben says nice muffin inclusion. When I was watching that references video to see what references are made here, even Ash and Flash said, oh, the muffin here, it's a reference to something or another, and I was like, why don't I remember a muffin bit? Like, I at least have like some cursory knowledge of most of the references in this set. Some of them are obvious and recurring, like Festivus or whatever, but like the muffin I don't quite remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look for it. Okay, so I was wondering what was gonna happen with these. It is going to be some bar stools, which I guess are in Jerry's apartment. They're probably blue. Are they square? I don't remember, but they're there and square. Top of the muffin tube. That sounds familiar. Yeah, muffin tops. Muffin tops. Does my wife know better Seinfeld references than I do? Babe, we were talking earlier about The Nanny, about Frasier. Those are both kind of like watched at your behest. I don't think that's the correct use of that word, but you were the main proponent of those shows, whereas I was really the tag-along watcher. That was bag number 5. Clever viewers out there may be able to guess what's coming next. More Pokemon cards. No. It is. Taking a break from the main build to build this weird polybag free set. Honestly, I don't know what this is. There's not really names to polybags that are written on the bags. Is it like a treasure chest with a bunny and a magic wand? I don't know, but it was free. Nikki, thank you for hanging out for so long. Never apologize for having to leave. Instead, let us be glad for the time we had. I'm glad I was able to stream at an earlier hour so that some folks that could be here, that can't always be here, hopefully I'll be able to do some other daytime streams during the day, but like I said, most of the week I am working. Most of the weekends I am working on the house and doing family stuff. So if you can't catch me live, you can catch me on VODs because those all stay up. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being a loyal viewer, commenter, subscriber. I very much appreciate it. And it's nice to have live streams where I can, in fact, express that appreciation. So thank you. See you later. Hope you and yours are and continue to be doing well. Bag number 6 looks like we are going to do the rest of the top of the kitchen general area. Upper cabinetry, if you will. Which again, a lot easier to do in Lego form than in real form. Were you denoting my posing of the Coke. I'm talking to some guys over at the Coca-Cola Corporation about getting a sponsorship. Stuff's already running through my veins. Might as well get paid for it. That was kind of my thought with Lego. I was like, if I'm going to buy so much Lego, why don't I make content about Lego? And then I get paid on the internet to buy Lego. Turns out, that's not at all how it works. You pay for the Lego, and then no one pays you to make content about the Lego. Maybe someday? I don't know. Someday. This build, as expected, was and is so different. But if someone does not like this like tiny building bits, they won't like this part. I like this. I feel like this is supposed to be a little paper towel dispenser hanging on the backsplash of the countertop. I love when Lego can make you see something like that out of like 6 pieces. Nick, you have a good one. Enjoy your sleep. Yeah, I'm in these sets for the tiny details. The bookshelves. Like, make a tiny record player out of Lego. It's a bad example because I don't think Jerry had a record player, but you know what I mean. You'd love to get sets early and build them live. I would rebag them and give them to Dell Children's. I don't need more Lego. Honestly, I have similar thoughts. I definitely do not need more Lego. That part is true. Excuse me. That snuck up on me. Yeah, like I wished I could like partner with a... Oh gee, faith and misery. I also love Coke. And I also love the beverage. Good joke. I'm gonna steal that joke and use it around my friends and they'll think I'm so clever. Yeah, I wish there was some like... Oh, see, Ninja, I mentioned you earlier. You came for the Pokemon cards. See, there's still... I got 1 pack left that I haven't cracked. The first pack, not great. Nothing great. We got a reverse hollow dang trainer stadium. And our rare was a Fortress, whatever his name is. Poo-poo. Poo-poo platter. Which I think is a Seinfeld joke. What were we saying? Oh, yeah. I wish I had some partnership alliance deal worked out with a toy store or with Lego or something, because I don't need to keep every Lego set that I have. Like right now, I buy everything that I want to keep, but like I have a bunch of Lego sets in storage. Not that I don't want to keep them, but like there would be plenty of sets that I'd be happy to build, talk about, and then be rid of. Sometimes I'll feel that way about sets. This sounds bad. Okay, I was gonna say this sounds bad if my wife is still around. Sometimes I'll feel that way about a set. I'll buy it, I'll build it, I'll make a video about it, and then I'll sit there looking at it and be like, all right, I'm done with you. I'll bag it up, throw it in a storage unit or whatever. And like I honestly don't think more about that set. And it's like, did I get my money's worth? And it's like, that's a subjective question that only I can answer. Like to me, I may have gotten my money's worth. If my intention was to buy a set to make a video about a set, regardless of the views of the video, like the set served its purpose. And there is some solace in knowing that I still do own the set. It is still around somewhere in my collection. If I need it for pieces or parts or whatever other uses down the line, it would still exist. And there's that part. But like some sets, like a Star Wars set, an X-Wing, another TIE Fighter or something, I would gladly keep those because once you know a lot more of those, babe, get out of here. I'm talking about ridiculous things. But like a X-Wing, a TIE Fighter, or whatever, I want to get those and keep those because you know Lego's going to keep making those, and it's cool to like see differences and notice how things have changed over the years or what Lego's doing new or different. Like in the latest X-Wing, the X-Foils opening mechanism was like a weird, ridiculous little ball of Technic. And that was really cool to like hold up next to an older X-Wing and be like, here's what they did before, here's what they do now. But there's plenty of sets that will not have a use like that. And so it'd be so cool if a toy store or something would be like, we give the set to you, you build it, do whatever, do your little videos about it, and then give it back. I'll be like, okay, yeah, 100%. There was like a used place up here in Round Rock that has since closed, unfortunately, around COVID, that they would buy and sell used sets. I was like, I wonder if I could work something out with them where they have to like go through the used set that someone brought them and figure out if all the pieces are there. What if I could be like, hey, I'll see if all the pieces are there. And in doing so, we'll just build it and get to make a video about it myself, and then I'll give it back to you. Work something out. And it would be a way to kind of get like new sets that may be old sets just trickling through. I never pursued that kind of thing, but it would have been cool, right? Also, Ninja, I don't know if I said hey to you, but if you're still here, now seems as good a time as any to just crack open this pack, right? I'm probably gonna stream for another 45 minutes or so. Yeah, a rent-a-set thing. Like, it would not appeal to everyone because so many people, they want to buy and collect and keep things, but there's so many sets that I'd love to experience without needing to completely own. Let's crack open another pack here. Also, Eric, what's up, man? Good to see you. Glad you could come by live. We are on bag, I don't know, 6 out of 9 of the Seinfeld set. I may not finish it this stream because I'll probably only be on for another 45 or so. But why don't we delay the build even longer by opening another pack of Sword and Shield Vivid Voltage sets. Here is a QR code and another code if someone wants some digital Pokemon cards, which I do not collect. Pull 4 cards off the back. Flip these fellas around. Creative Brick Builders. I think that was them. Yeah. I probably could have done that. I bought a couple of used sets from them. I bought an old Slave one from them. I loved being able to go in there and just like they had old CMF things for reasonable prices and a bunch of stuff. So like I really loved having something so close by. And now there's nothing. We've got bricks and minifigs. I know I'm delaying this. It's a water element energy. We have a bricks and minifigs near us. I've never actually been there. We got water energy. We got a trainer Chichester Bath. Stun Fisk. Another energy. Wow, that's 3 energies in the same. No, that was a trainer. Never mind. These 2 energies. An Oshawott. There's a starter. A Duskull. Oh, these aren't clear. I'm gonna go back 2 or 3 cards. There. Energy. Oshawott. A Duskull. A Pharaoh Seed. Not great dudes in these. Rylu. Excuse me. A Sandile. We got his evolution in the last pack. A reverse hollow Oshawott. Not very exciting. And oh boy. Our rare is an Executor. That was 2 bad packs. I am disappointed. And tell me if this happens to you, Ninja. When you get a pick a pack of pickled Pokemon cards, when you get a pack of Pokemon cards and you open them up and you go through them like that and you go, oh, that was kind of junk. The first thing it makes me want to do is get more Pokemon cards to have a chance to redeem some kind of mediocre pulls. And the last thing that getting Pokemon cards should make you want is to get more Pokemon cards. Then again, I guess that's probably a common theme in a lot of collecting, like Lego. The more Lego you get, the more Lego you want. It's at least true for me, and it's a dangerous, terrible truth. Let's rush through some upper cabinetry here. We'll probably be able to finish bag 7. If I really rushed and ignored everything else, we could probably finish this one today. I hope no one would consider it a disservice if I just finished it off stream this evening and did some prep for a review for it. Because I think I could do a pretty fun review for this one, but I don't know exactly what I want to do quite yet. And next week my parents are in town, so we'll see. all things, we will see on all things what I'm saying. Ben, good to see you. Hope I didn't distract you too much from your work, as I know LEGO streams do to me. Yeah, I get distracted by watching other people's LEGO streams. I think there were several other people that were scheduled to do streams around this same time, which I was like, oh man, if I'm streaming, I can't watch other people do streams. But at this point in time in the LEGO YouTube community, there's almost no time you can stream that there's not someone else also streaming some LEGO. So I'll do the same thing that I'm sure plenty of people do, is bounce around multiple streams, spend a little time in one stream, say what up, see what the vibe is, see what we're doing, hop to others. Kind of like clubbing, right? That's what you do when you go clubbing. You pick one club, you go to a different club, bar, pick your poison. Not that I ever actually did any of that. I'm a very boring individual. Is music still going? Yeah, it's there. Music's there. It's quiet in my head, so hopefully it's audible to others. I don't know. Ninja, all the time. You're always getting packs of pickled Pokemon cards and you go for redemption packs. Redemption? I thought redemption packs was a real official thing. I was like, what's a redemption pack and why do I want 100 of them now? Just a pack to redeem what you've gotten. The worst is when, most of the time I will, stream hopping. Most of the time I will, I'll open Pokemon cards in the car. Like they will be, I call them an impulse buy. I've never gone to a store specifically looking for Pokemon cards, but if they are there, I will get them. And then getting to the car after I've just gotten them, when I wasn't planning on getting them, I tend to be very excited about just having them. And so I will almost always open them up in the car, except for now where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll save these to open on stream, just so that other people can see my mediocre reactions. I go, okay, cool, it's this, whatever. I wouldn't know a super rare card if I pulled it anyway. I just like the shiny colors. But I'll open them up in the car, which could be a dangerous thing for this idea of a redemption pack, because you could be like, I didn't like the cards I got. I'm going back in to get more. Even though right now there's signs around all the Pokemon cards that are like, limit 2 of any item per person. And I'm like, are you enforcing that? Because I'm pretty sure I was at Walmart and there was a sign that said limit 1 per person, as if someone's going to buy a single booster pack of Pokemon cards at a time, which is a ludicrous concept to me. And I grabbed 2 there, not trying to be greedy or anything, but I grabbed 2 packs, which doesn't seem unreasonable to me. They didn't say anything, but it was Walmart, so what do you expect? Okay, so this doesn't go there. This goes here, like this. And this is supposed to be on top of something that I missed. Oh, no, I didn't miss it. It's there. This is what I imagine is the top section of cabinetry, which I like very much. It doesn't go here. It does go there. Why do they put... It's going to go like this. Oh, is this the front? Okay, that's the front. We're building backwards. I was like, why'd they put this cool, like, juice container facing backwards? I think I'm just building backwards. That's okay. That's normal. That's a thing that can and is done. It's like the Shang-Chi dragon. I'm perpetually going to say that incorrectly. But that new dragon set, you build the whole thing almost upside down. Like all of the individual little body components are upside down. And I don't think that franchise will get many more builds from it. I like that we've got at least a few. But it'll, I think little sets like that where they probably won't, they're not banking on those being ridiculously popular sets. It's a chance for some LEGO creative people to do something different, like design an entire dragon, but that's built upside down, in reverse. Because why not? Okay, now that I understand that we're building these things backwards, I appreciate it. There are many colors here, and this is making me think that that's the wrong color. Yes, it is. That's a blue one. This is not something that would actually matter in the whole build, but I used a 1x2 green. It should be 1x2 blue. There we are. Okay. And that's why brick separators are in fact included. So for this one, this is supposed to be blue, white, sand green, I think that is. Like that. And this one, we build some like cereal boxes. This whole section to me, I'm just going to assume is a cereal box because that was a large part of Jerry Seinfeld's character, was enjoying cereal. But maybe these are just supposed to be, I don't know, regular old pantry goods kept on a cabinet. But a very colorful bunch of stuff going on right there, huh? Colorful. I will say though, I will be glad to be done with the kitchen once we reach that step. How's my brick separator collection going? Growing slowly but surely. I'll grab it in a sec. More and more of these teal separators are coming out. Oh crap, I built this for a later step. But this set does include another teal one. I also saw that the LEGO store, they just sell brick separators by themselves, and for some reason I'm standing at the counter and I'm tempted to grab one or two and be like, I want more of these. For no reason. Like, having a larger brick separator count does not give you more clout in the LEGO collecting community, but for some reason it kind of feels like it does, because it's like, how many big sets did you have to buy to get to where you are now? And the answer is it doesn't matter, because you can just straight up buy the things. But it's still just like I would say it's like a full quart size bag of brick separators. A quart Ziploc. Not to brag or anything, but I got them in a quart size. They won't even fit in a snack size baggie anymore. Yeah, I know a lot of people that got a snack size brick separator collection. Not me. Up to a quart. I don't understand what's happening here. This goes like this. Oh, I see. So this little bit is going to slot into our window and look like something in a cabinet. And I think I've done that correctly. And this will be what it looks like. I really like the look of this. So much stuff jammed into a small space. I think the end result looks really good. The effect is really nice on the aesthetic of the whole room. The build feels weird, but like, look how that comes together. Just like a really colorful kitchen. Also, on this side, these little boxes are actually just like, they just place the tiles in there, so you can like rummage those around. They'll come in there. Yeah, I don't have a green brick separator. That's one that that might have been in older sets or something. There's like a couple of brick separator models that I don't have. The big ones came with the mosaic sets, and I bought a couple of the mosaic sets, or art sets, I guess they are. I like those because they're chunky, but I only have just plain old orange and a bunch of turquoise. I feel like the first turquoise, I can't say that word right. I get made fun of it a lot for it, just by my wife, who already left, so she can't make fun of me here. I'm safe here. I can't say turquoise because I say turquoise, and then I have this same conversation so many times that I don't remember the correct way to say it. I think I'm just supposed to say turquoise. That being said, this color brick separator, I feel like the first ones of these that I got were like around the Flintstones set, which I had, and then I sold, and now I regret. I feel like people have asked, like, have you ever sold Lego sets or whatever? Have you ever bought sets that you regret? I've sold sets that I regret. Here is the classic portrait of George doing the lay down thing. It was not positioned here in the actual apartment in the actual episodes, but that is where they chose to put it. You could obviously move around any of these art tiles to put them where you want them. That's the classic George. you had to include that scene in this set. And I'm glad they did, because I'm in it, like I said, for the references and for the little details. And this kitchen was rife with both. I don't like that. Look at that. I'm assuming that'll get stabilized in a second. We were just building the old Republic Gunship on the last stream, and I was realizing how many like build areas of that set were just not super reinforced. Granted, it's now like almost a 20-year-old set, and so when I'm picking it up and handling it, it does not feel super sturdy because it's been built 20 years ago, left sitting, and then thrown on the floor, smashed, and then rebuilt. So it does not feel stable at all right now. But there were even just like parts in the build techniques that I'm like, LEGO doesn't do this these days. Like every single area has like multiple points of connection and catching and reinforcement. Here's our extras here on that area. That might be done with the kitchen. And the next area will be this area, which kind of stinks because I just want to build the couch, but I guess that's going to be bag 8 and we're not going to get to that on the stream. So if you guys were hoping for the couch and coffee table, I don't think we're going to get there. Oh, also this area needs to be built up. Ninja, you're heading out. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you around the internet, where I frequent the internet. Ocean, the kitchen does look amazing. I do love the color of those cabinets, which is funny because the new kitchen that we just built is actually blue, but it's more of a dark blue than that, like sand blue that they got going on. Here's the bag of separators hanging out. A couple of the big boys. More and more of those turquoise fellas across the top lately. Oh yeah, that was the point of it, Ninja. It was fun to smash it because of the disrespect for it, which is ironic. It was very sad to do, but I was like, this will be pretty funny though, so I'm gonna go ahead and smash this anyway. Okay, bag 7 we will try to finish. This is the last bag that contains one of our main cast members. That cast member being George, wearing his classic red raincoat. And he includes a fishing rod and a bread, which I believe is supposed to be a reference to, the only time that a fishing rod and bread were involved in the Seinfeld franchise at the same time, when they were trying to like sneak the chocolate thing out of was it the chocolate babka or something? I could be confusing episodes. There were multiple bread related episodes, but they were fishing bread down like out someone's window. So I believe that's the reference here. The funny thing is, I actually don't think I own any other LEGO fishing rods, like a fishing pole like this. I don't think I own any. Any set that might have included a fishing rod, being like an old fishing house or a boat or anything that's come out lately, I don't have it. I don't know that I've ever owned a LEGO fishing pole. So that part's fun for me. There's George. His face looks kind of upset. Classic George. Not a double-sided face. Yeah, I don't think they could fit a double side on them. I don't know if any of these, I think maybe some of these did. I didn't look that hard if anyone else got double sides. Yeah, Lane does. It's Jerry. I feel like he did. Yeah, Jerry has like funny and not funny. Same with Kramer. Okay, so everyone got double-sided faces except for George because his hairpiece is not big enough to cover. This bag does not look very full, but hard to say if it'll go quick or not. D-Hammer, what's up? How are you? We are a good ways into the new LEGO Seinfeld build. I don't know that we'll finish it on this stream, but we'll get pretty far. We just finished the kitchen. There are a ton of fun details in here. A little bit of tedium to this build, like the flooring is like the first 2 bags are just like the entire floor structure, which was not the most fun thing I've ever built, but I've built less fun things. Plus, it's just, this set is not, I don't know how many people are going to buy this set just because it looks like a great build or whatever. There are probably plenty of sets which have nicer builds than this one. You get this set for the references, and if you're a fan of the show, which I am, and I, for that reason, I like this set already, and I know that I will review it highly just because of what it is. Do you like Seinfeld, D-Hammer? Will you be getting this set? And will you be buying the new UCS Republic Gunship, which is a default question that needs to be asked to anyone in here? Because we're taking a poll. We're going to see how competitive the market for the new gunship will be by asking everyone we meet between now and then. You'll get some weird looks from the cashier at the grocery store when you're checking out. She's like, oh, it'll be 73 something something. You have any coupons? Be like, no, I'm a millennial and I use coupons. But you'll say, are you going to buy the new UCS Republic Gunship when it comes out in August? And she'll say, what? And you'll say, you heard me. The LEGO Republic Gunship coming out August 1st for $350. The fans asked for it and then immediately complained about it because that's what we do. That Republic Gunship, are you going to buy it? And then she'll stop speaking to you, as do most grocery store cashiers, because you've asked an innocuous question. No gunship for Ocean? Not surprising. That wasn't a personal thing. Not surprising because I think a lot of people are. I think LEGO is making a set that is easy to justify not buying, which is probably the opposite of what LEGO wants to do. They probably want to make a set that's hard to pass up. Like, oh, this one's going to be rare, this one's going to be exclusive, this one's going to be popular, that's going to be hard to pass up. Instead, I feel like the gunship can be described as easy to pass up because it's very expensive, it's very large. Not a lot of people can justify the money or the space or like the time to build it. Like, there are so many reasons against this set and a fewer number for it. You gotta really like the ship or the show or whatever. It's tough. Is this a US exclusive? Seinfeld? I don't know, actually. I, unfortunately, kind of selfishly, probably don't follow the international LEGO market as well as I could. Beyond the fact that, like, you guys, in non-America, get gypped out of prices a lot. You may have gotten all the new Marvel sets early this year, but I'll be darned if you ain't paying extra for them, because I've seen like the gunship is more expensive. It's like Europe, Australia, and New Zealand gets really put out with new sets. I think like a lot of places are paying like $100 more in equivalent US monies for the gunship and stuff, which is ridiculous. Make the sets the same price. I kind of understand New Zealand because it's like logistically there's some challenges there to just get sets to New Zealand, but like UK seems like you could just basically do equivalent pricing. Same with Canada. I don't know if Canada gets higher or lower prices. D-Hammer, yes. Seinfeld, no to the gunship. Cool set would be a production crew with cameras and track to finish a studio experience. Would work with Friends, Big Bang, Seinfeld says. It's funny that you say that because I was just saying, and that's like the final bag of this set is what looks like it'll just be like all the camera equipment and stuff and the lights. I was saying like I'll build it and include it here, but I kind of want to skip putting those on because I would rather have a Lego set of Jerry's apartment more or less in universe, like as if it was a real place with real people, instead of like a set depicting movie set. Even though I like production as much as anyone. I used to work in live production, which is more like live concert kind of production than like television show production, but I have a huge appreciation for lighting design and camera design and all that kind of thing, but I kind of think the sets look cleaner without those things. But I like the LEGO includes them. Makes the set seem little more expansive, a little more playable. I also see a lot of I don't know how to describe it, like movie set related play sets pop up on LEGO Ideas all the time. I think another one just got to the vote threshold where it was basically just like a bunch of building facades with like some fake camera stuff like that, that you could be like simulate movie sets with LEGO sets. There's definitely a market for stuff like that. But I didn't even think about the fact that as much as it seems like Seinfeld is a national treasure as a television show and a person, it makes sense that the show may not, a show set in 90s New York may not have the same appeal to European audiences that it does to us. This is a tiny sticker. Ooh, back's giving out. We've been here for a few hours. It's been streaming since about 1, so this will take us to about a 4-hour stream, which is longer than usual in the very short time that I've done any live streaming content. I usually just do curated, edited videos, reviews, thoughts videos, update videos, that kind of thing. I like the ability to edit my own content, cut out the cruft, the junk, the offensive stuff that I blurt out very often. That's not true. But I do like to be able to edit myself to a degree. Live streaming takes that away and trades it for the ability to talk with people in real time, which is a very fair trade-off, in my opinion. Also, you may notice I'm holding off on putting these doors in place because much earlier on, I applied a sticker to a door, which is this sticker, which I think is the front door. And then I realized that that step was actually asking for this sticker to be applied to the door. And I assume this is just the back of this door. I haven't looked at it yet. So right now I'm setting all doors aside and I'm going to rectify the door situation after the build. It seems like most of the doors are coming into play right now because these are little hallway areas. But I'm leaving doors off right now because of one poorly placed sticker that was placed in a rush that will not affect the overall outcome of the build. Oh, D-Hammer, you're a pro photographer. Yes, probably a preference to see some production equipment in the scene as a photographer. Okay, so I think we've just rectified the door situation. So this door, on the back side, they want apartment 5A. There's also a sticker for 5B. So 5A was Jerry's. I guess 5B... Oh, so this is like his door and across the hall door? Yeah, it looks like we get his door, and this is actually the outside hallway. This is the entrance hallway. This is Kramer's door. This is Jerry's door, which I guess are 5A and 5B. And we tried this before. It was a bit of a stressful process. I really don't like these stickers on these doors. I'm going to do this one a little more casually. Oh, we're going to call that good enough as a sticker door. Excuse me. Okay, so that's going to be the front door, which I believe is right here. That's going to be fine, just like that. That's going to hang out right here. There, we're all good on the doors. I knew it would work out. That's the interior front door with the buzzer that is featured so often throughout the show. And also, I was very young when I watched the show originally, and I had no concept of buzzing people into an apartment building. And so when he'd be like, come on up, and he'd push a buzzer button, I was like, I don't understand what's happening here, but I like the rest of the show, and I like the jokes, so I'm going to ignore that part. But now I understand what's happening. I've never lived in that kind of apartment, though, where you had to buzz someone up. Very strange concept to me. Also funny, because I delivered stickers. I read stickers in the chat. I did not deliver stickers ever, nor would I ever. No offense to them. I delivered pizza for many years. I've talked about it before. Plenty of pizza delivery stories. I delivered pizza for many years, and I never delivered to a door like that with a buzzer, which is probably just the area I lived in, which was South Florida, where I was delivering. They just didn't have that kind of door to like be buzzed up. Seems like it'd be very weird. But I'm sure an apartment like that where you would need to be buzzed into, I'm sure people would complain about a problem. I think this was actually a theme of several episodes of the show, where like Jerry didn't let a dude follow him into the apartment, right? Into the front door, because he's like, I'm sorry, I don't know you. And he's like, what? We're neighbors. And he's like, I'm sorry, and he just like closes the door on the dude's face, and he like forgot his key or something. And then later on, he sees the dude in the building, and he goes, oh, so you do live here? And he's like, yeah. And then he gets into the elevator with him, and they go up, and him and the dude get off at the same floor, and he's like, oh, you're on this floor. And then they keep walking, and they get like near Jerry's apartment, and it's like the dude lives like a door or two down from Jerry. He's like, oh, and he's like, yep, and he just slams the door in Jerry's face. But like Ocean is saying, you do not want random people coming into your apartment buildings. So I imagine that was an issue of people like following you in to the building. The only equivalency that I can relate is, I don't know when it told me to put, I'll stick the other door on now while we're here, Kramer's store. I don't know if there's a sticker on the back of Kramer's store. No, that's back at the beginning. The only equivalency I can relate my own door experience to, I think this only gets a front door, is when I delivered pizza back in the day. The area that I was in had a lot of gated communities, which are such a pain in the delivery person's rear, man, because you would think someone ordering pizza would put instructions on how to get into their neighborhood somewhere with the delivery instructions. But instead, half the time you'd get to the gate and you'd try to like call the person so that they could in fact buzz you into the gate, and they just wouldn't answer or whatever. And half the time you would just have to follow people into the gated community, and then people would be like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you following me? And it's like, I'm trying to deliver a dang pizza here. I'm not trying to rob anybody. Wakwas, hello, welcome. We're building Seinfeld's apartment and talking about delivering pizza, because that's what I did. So back here would be Kramer's door, because that's 5B. On this side would be Jerry's door. This is the hallway. This is the front of Jerry's door. It's all coming together now. And then this all goes at an interesting angle over here. I have one more door. I don't know if I think I was supposed to put this on already in the back here. I'll do that after the fact. Now that all of our mismatched doors are rectified, the weird thing is the floor has some random studded bits, if the thing wanted to focus. And it's hard to see exactly where they want this to be, if this sits on any studs or if this just kind of floats and the studs are there to attach minifigures to if you want to. Yeah, I think it did connect to the floor in a few spots pretty securely on there. I love this like top-down, almost blueprint view that this set brings together. The Friends apartment sets did them too, but again, I don't have those. I don't like Friends as much as I like Seinfeld. Wakwas, obligatory questions if you feel like chatting. Do you like Seinfeld? Which is relevant because of, Seinfeld. And are you planning to buy the UCS Republic Gunship? As we are questioning everyone today. Because I'm still on the fence, and maybe if everyone else says they aren't going to buy it, then I'll be like, ooh, this will be like an exclusive. Not if you want the Republic Gunship, because I think we would all take it if it were offered to us. I want it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. Someone said like the Slave 1 was up there on the list. I'll definitely get the Slave 1. I'm on the fence about the Moff Gideon's cruiser. I want any Mandalorian sets, but maybe not that one. I think I'll get the little Marauder troop transport thing. That one looks fun. The clone ship. Not the clone, the Mandalorian ship. The one with the cool wing design. That one looks sweet. I think I'll get that one. I'm just trying to remember all these off the top of my head. Oh, this was a lamp. I was like, what's this weird piece hanging out here? I'm skipping mini builds today. This is an interesting lamp that may or may not have looked like this in the show. I'm sure the LEGO design team had more access to reference photos than we do. But this is apparently a little lamp that hangs over, not the entryway, whatever this area of the apartment is. There's an area here which may lead to the bedroom or the bathroom. It's got a bicycle in it, and now a little lamp hanging down. Oh, that's kind of a fun view. It's like we're sitting, it's like we're at, we're in the apartment. Skipping Seinfeld because you don't know the show. See, I think that'll be, that's entirely reasonable, and like LEGO has to account for that. They can't assume this set will sell that well, even though it is like a $1 billion franchise of a show. And like this and Friends are probably two of the largest, at least American sitcoms. So it absolutely makes sense that we got sets made from those. But others would be hard to justify. I would love to see a Frasier. I'd probably also get Frasier. I think it would also do well. But beyond that, I don't know how much else is wicked popular. We talked a bit about sitcoms earlier. Even like Cheers, like that could be popular and have nostalgia for a lot of people, but I don't think LEGO can sell us a bar, even though they just did. Because the Mos Eisley Cantina is like a bar. But it's an alien bar, so it's okay. Like, guns are okay if they're alien blasters. Violence is okay if it's alien spaceships that aren't real. But not real military vehicles. It sounds like I'm very bitter. I'm not. I'm just having fun questioning LEGO's decision making and how much of it is based on the profit that you could make off things. Would you buy a set that was a machine gun or an army tank? If they would sell 1 billion of them, it'd be real hard for LEGO to say no to that. Maybe they have more moils than I'm giving them credit for. Oh, UCS AT-AT is something that I'm hearing about a lot, D-Hammer. Obviously, the Republic Gunship was just revealed, and so now we all have to jump onto what might be the next thing. So I'm seeing AT-AT thrown out there a lot. I'm seeing Geonosis Arena thrown out there a lot. If we go like the Mos Eisley Cantina, like to another playset type UCS size set. There's another one or two out there that I think I've seen the name thrown around. Honestly, I would be excited for the UCS AT-AT to see it, because the sheer scale of that build would be amazing to see. But like, I don't know what it would take to justify me buying that one. I have nowhere to put it. No one has anywhere to put an AT-AT that size. So it'd be so hard to just justify getting it. I would love to see it. But where does this go? Over here? Also, what's this? Just a bookshelf or something that is in Jerry's apartment? I haven't looked at pictures of the apartment lately. I think they're telling me to stick it over here by the front door. Kind of an interesting placement over here. Man, it stinks because bag 8 is what looks like the most fun bag, and I'm about to have to call the stream because I gotta hop off around 5 p.m. and bag 8's where we get the couch, the armchair, the coffee table, the bookshelf. It's gonna sit back here. A bunch of fun stuff in there. That's probably as far as we're gonna get in the build today, which is to say most of the build. It's just a building. I don't know what we were expecting. Bag 8 is the sand green Boba Fett colored couch. Bag 9 is the production equipment and Newman minifigure. For those who weren't here earlier in the stream, we also got a new Harry Potter blister pack. I think this is a new one that just came out, with a couple of these printed clear head pieces with little acid pops in them. And an owl. It's a fun little character pack there. We also got a poly bag of a friend's set that I threw somewhere and has disappeared since then. We had fun here today, though. I had fun here today. Nice 4-hour stream, so all in all, this build would probably take at most like 4 hours if someone wasn't talking the whole time. You could probably do it quicker than that. Oh, one of these bags should have the reference that I actually remember the most. Yeah, there's a little, whatever they called, micro scale figure that's supposed to represent the blue statue. I remember that episode very vividly. 2 more stickers to go. I will finish this build a little later on. There was something I wanted to do at the end of... Oh, yes. I got some mail, which just got slipped under my door while we were streaming. I feel like I saw someone else doing something with this on social media, and I was like, what is that? I want it, and apparently I get it for some reason. I'm definitely on LEGO's mailing list for whatever they are willing to send me. This is like a whole big book about 18 plus sets. Ooh, like full page spreads. That's where it's at right there, man. I didn't even know what this thing was. I have this set. It's on the shelves behind me. Beautiful set. Saturn V, I have that. Beautiful. You're kind of interested in the gunship, Eric. A reasonable first UCS set to get. The problem is, anything that's available on shelves is the only thing that's going to be reasonable. That being said, I think the 2 cheaper ones were the A-Wing and the Snowspeeder. I assume the Snowspeeder has since been discontinued, but I think it was only $200 American when it came out. The A-Wing, I think, was also reasonably priced, maybe $200 or $250. Reasonable, obviously, there should have an asterisk behind it. But the A-Wing and Snowspeeder are both great ships. They have display stands. They're really good sizes. The builds were really nice. The end products are beautiful. They're not wicked expensive. They're not wicked huge. They're not like that big Hoth play set or even the Mos Eisley Cantina, which I don't know if those are actually UCS sets or whatever, or like the Death Stars where it's like a giant play set. I like displayable ships. The A-Wing is actually, I think, probably still available in stores. So that'd be a great starting point, assuming you have any interest in Return of the Jedi, which is where the A-Wing was featured. Here's the UCS Falcon. We've got this fella just off screen over there. Oh, and here's, I guess these are just 18 plus sets, not UCS. Some of the new busts. These are the 2 new ones that came out this year, excluding the Stormtrooper Boba Fett and other one, TIE Fighter pilot helmet. We have all of these, by the way, and there are probably reviews for all of these on the channel already. We are not only in LEGO Star Wars, some of the big other ones. That big Batwing looks so cool. Looks so cool on a wall. I've got a spot on my wall. I could hang it right over here. I don't got the money for it. Daily Bugle, that just came out this year. Very popular. Beautiful minifigures. No place for it. The Friends set, we've been talking about this a lot as we're building Seinfeld, and now I can see similarities in this one. Again, tons of cool detail. The walls look similar. The whole blueprint looks similar. I didn't realize how similar Central Perk was. This Seinfeld set makes me want Central Perk a little more. Ooh, big vehicles. This set I like a lot. I wanted to get this for my brother because I think he bought like a 66 Mustang that he was going to fix up. He didn't. He had a kid instead, so he sold it. Ecto 1, I've got that sucker in the closet. Beautiful set. Rust stickers are done. Porsche, I've got that set. Literally within reach. Partially because it's too big to put somewhere else, and it looks too nice to justify putting it in storage. So it stays just within arm's reach at any given time. You never know when you'll need a Porsche. Only $150 for this set. For a creator expert set, that's a decent deal. The shoe has no place in a catalog of beauty such as this. Beatles is an interesting choice for the art line. It looks nice. You got that world map, which I somehow kind of like, and not a lot of people actually like it. And if my wife liked it more, I would get it and we could hang it somewhere, but she doesn't like the colors of it that much either, and so we're skipping it. And then of course the Coliseum, which was for a brief time the largest LEGO set ever released by piece count, and then it got replaced by this one. So the Falcon was the biggest for a very short period of time, right? Not that short. So the Falcon got the biggest because it was like 7,500 pieces, And then the Colosseum's like, nah, I'm 9,000 pieces, small pieces. And then the world map came out, it's like, nah, I'm 11,600. But they're all 1x1 tiles. So I kind of count, but now every time we talk about the largest Lego set ever, we have to use an asterisk, which is silly. Yes, hashtag Rust stickers are dumb. I didn't put them on. I won't put them on. There's my home address. Please don't, should have looked at that beforehand, huh? That's a new catalog that apparently came in the mail, which is fun. Very nice. Cool that LEGO sent that out as basically just a big ad pamphlet. Okay, I think that's where I got to call the stream now. Thanks so much for hanging out, chatting. Hope you're doing well. May finish this build later tonight. Probably not enough left to justify another stream from it, but look forward to a review of this build, which I will do soon. And then we'll talk about building it live right now. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for hanging out. Be sure to like the stream. Be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Go do something fun this week. Go buy yourself some Lego this week. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Ocean. Thanks, Eric. Good to see you guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'm Josh. This is Josh Build Stuff. I'll see you next time.